What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 584. Episode number 584 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, okay? Go to the blogs, go to the forum posts, go to the chat rooms, go to the social media sites, and spread this show link around like wildfire. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, then you are listening to the Internet Underground. I guarantee it, baby. All right? Of course, the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is, and it's as easy as typing this into your browser, folks, ghost.report. Okay? It's as simple as that. That's the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. You type it in your browser, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please follow me on my only social media that I have on the Internet. Any other people representing supposedly me on another social media site are goddamn fake and gay, okay? My only social media representation is at Gab, folks, and if you don't have a Gab account, well, then I don't know what the hell you're doing, all right? Gab is the last bastion of freedom of speech on the Internet today. You can go there by typing in your browser right now, gab.ai, and get yourself a goddamn free account. And once you do, follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost, okay? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And like I said, man, Gab, what I like about it, you got a lot of legitimate political folk on Gab. That's what I like about it. People out there that are serious. You know, there's a little bit of trolliness. You know, everybody comes from kind of Poll, 4chan, that kind of arena. But it is still a legitimate arena to, you know, kind of actually have people that have a certain perspective of politics and be able to have a discourse. Now, of course, you know, you may have some people that, you know, may participate in the discourse a little differently than others, but that's what I appreciate about Gab, and I hope everybody, you know, considers getting on there. It's free. Go ahead and get yourself a free account on there and follow me under the name Politics Ghost. And, of course, I do want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And I want to say, I really do like the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Now that we, as the show, the True Capitalist Radio show, took the show format in a serious capacity, everybody who has now joined the True Capitalist Radio chat room is either going in there to talk crypto, to talk business, to talk politics, to talk international relations, social criticisms. We've got people from all over the world, you know, from France, from Britain, from South Africa. I mean, you name it, and they're giving us the firsthand insights on what exactly is going on in their neck of the woods so that it can enlighten us, not only all of us in the chat room, but I can also relay that information in the broadcast out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we need to get the straight political dope. We need to know exactly what's going on the ground level, because you sure as hell can't you can't trust the fake news, folks, okay? You can't trust the fake news. Anyway, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, it's very easy to do so, so please listen closely if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. As a matter of fact, what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room right now? How y'all doing on this Monday? How's it going, folks? Anyway, what you got to do to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room is go to my Gab account right now, okay, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button, all right? It's as simple as that. Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and once you do, I will give you and send you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that simple. Now that we've gotten that all out of the way, folks, I hope you had a great weekend. It was a pretty hot weekend out here in San Hambonio, to say the least. I mean, it gets hot out here. And on top of it getting so damn hot, it's humid as hell. So on top of it being 103 degrees out here, You got like 90% humidity. I mean, you could barely breathe out here. It's unbearable. But, I've been born and raised out here in Texas. We're used to that kind of weather out here. So, we can continue. We do our outdoor activities. That ain't no thing. We brushed our shoulders off. We make sure that we're plenty of hydrated. Or that's the key when battling heat. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. All right? With that being said, folks, let's go ahead and get to the intro to the broadcast prior to the commentary on crypto and stocks. I want to talk a little bit about white privilege. Now, you hear this terminology coming from ethnic minority groups, liberals, folks that are trying to represent the progressive left. They talk a lot about this term, white privilege. And it's a very abstract term because most of the rhetoric coming out of the left is nothing more than abstract nonsense that's made to just kind of provide circles to go around in any kind of debate. But, I've thought about this term, white privilege. What exactly are the left talking about? What is white privilege? I mean, is it the fact that somebody happened to be born in a family that happens to be doing something for themselves? And because they were born in that family cares about them, that they leave them something? Is that white privilege? Or does that boil down to something called family values? And I think that's what people need to start looking at when anyone tries to approach this notion of white privilege, family values. Because isn't that what really white privilege is all about? It's not necessarily about white folks having any kind of upper hand, so to speak. It's how they raise their children and how they look at family. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, folks. I mean, most white folk, all right, listen, when I say most, what I mean by that are those white folks that have families, that have children. Most of the time, their modus operandi is to do best for the child. And the whole reason why they work, the whole reason why they bust their ass, the whole reason why they invest, save for college funds for Billy, is to give Billy a better life than they had. Now, what you'll find, folks, in black, Hispanics, and these types of lower-end ethnic minority groups that hit the statistical data of poverty and crime and single parents, etc., what you'll find, folks, is that many of these folks that crying white privilege, it's not necessarily anything to do with race. It could possibly be, and let's just approach this notion for a second, that it's a cultural family idea. Because I want to be honest, I know a lot of folks of all races. I'm a melting pot of friendship. I know I do a lot of racial, it's a bunch of jokes. Come on, folks. I'm a melting pot of friendship. I got a whole bunch of friends that happen to be black. I know I push the envelope when it comes to racial rhetoric and commentary, but that's because I believe in the First Amendment, and I think that people need to take words. People's words, I think they need to take people's words and just blow it off. And who gives a shit about what people say? I mean, parrots can curse you out for 30 years. I mean, are you going to take the parrot seriously, or are you going to take the parrot's action seriously, that it doesn't nip at you or bite your ass or anything of that capacity? People have failed to define people on their actions, and instead they hear a couple of words, and then that just automatically defines a person. But getting back to white privilege. White privilege, in my personal opinion, and like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with privilege. It has everything to do with how families are raised. Now, when it comes to black families, what I've experienced from a third-party perspective, and I've been invited to black, I've said this time and time again, black family reunions. I've heard a lot of black internal conversations amongst folks, and I'm not talking about folks that are living on the fucking hip-hop ghetto dressing like Young Thug train. I'm talking about hard-working black folk I'm talking about people that are accomplished stuff. I'm talking about black folks that are business owners, managers, executives, etc. What you find is that their parents, more times than not, are envious of the fact that they were successful and they are not. I mean, there's a lot of envy that begins to brew in minority-based poverty groups when it comes to family. Now, let's go back to white privilege. Why is white privilege even an idea, even in existence? It's because, for whatever reason, maybe because most white folk are Christians, not trying to throw a religious connotation here, and believed in Christian values and family values, and believed that I'm going to live beyond myself, and since I have children, I'm living for my children, I'm working for my children, I'm gaining all my net worth and properties and businesses or whatever you accumulate for my children as opposed to myself. And I think that is where the envy comes in from ethnic minority groups who don't have this opportunity, or who aren't bequeathed this opportunity or inherited this opportunity. And I think minority groups need to stop asking or shouldn't say asking, but start accusing, for a lack of a better term, people of white privilege, and start looking internally on whether or not it's the family values that your family represented. I've noticed this. It's the same thing on the Hispanics or the Mexican side or Latin side of the demographic in America. Most of these folks do not want to see their children successful. As a matter of fact, they hate that their children are successful. As a matter of fact, in many cases, some of these folks will sabotage, whether through emotion, whether through actual physical sabotage, whatever the case might be, the success of their own children. There is no gratification in most cases. Of course, we have exceptions to the rule. In most cases, minority families do not appreciate their children's advancements if it supersedes the parents' advancements. And that's where this whole connotation of white privilege comes from. Now, if we take a look at the two variants of demographics that we're using as an example in this conversation, the black folk and the Mexican or Latin folk, black folks, let's just be honest, the reason that they don't have very much family value is because the welfare state and the influence of rap and hip-hop culture have deviated the family in a completely different direction. Black folks, most of the time, are raised by a black woman. And I've alluded to this many times on many different shows, that black women, with all due respect, I know there's exceptions to the rule, are loud and potentially violent whenever confronted about almost damn near anything, okay? I mean, let's be honest. Would you want to get into a confrontation with a black woman? Absolutely not, because they go into the stereotypical, oh, what the hell are you talking about? And, all that garbage, and getting loud and obnoxious. And who's watching this kind of activity? Who's watching this black woman act a fool and watching that people try to stay away from this black woman to avoid the violent, loud confrontation? It's these black boys that are fatherless, who most of the time don't even know who their fathers are the reasons why you have a violent response right now in most black America. I mean, I personally blame black women for the reason why we have so much black crime in this country, and why black folks in general cannot get out of the current position that they've been in for the past. I mean, I want to be honest with you, the black folks have been in this position ever since the Great Society. Remember LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the Democrat? He brought in the Great Society, in which he was going to put government money in making sure that lower-end ethnic minority groups and impoverished groups were going to get this and that entitlement to make them a part of the Great Society. And ever since the Great Society policies started implementing themselves, it has completely destroyed the family. It has created an idea in black women that children are a monetary gain, whether it's through government entitlements, the child support system, the Medicaid, Medicare, you name it, the Social Security, you name it. And that's really what all children are. You hear it from black comedians. What do they talk about? When black male comedians, when they talk about their mama, what do they talk about? That, man, my mama beat my ass. My mama beat my ass. My mama would take a goddamn switch. She'd take a cord, and she'd just start whipping my ass. And it's like no big thing. It's like no big thing. Like mama abuse, physical abuse, for the most ridiculous and mundane things. That's why that abuse, it's not being accepted as discipline to the black boy being over-abused by his erratic black ghetto mother. Instead, it's being interpreted that, hey, I need to be this violent. Hey, I need to be this loud. Hey, I need to be this obnoxious. Even if what I'm being obnoxious and violent about doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense. And this is why you have an interpretation from the black community of white privilege, because they were not accorded or born into a family that gave a crap about them. And because they don't have a family, a legitimate family, that gave a crap. And what do I mean by give a crap? I'm talking about the supposed white privilege. I'm talking about, and let's talk about white privilege again. When black people are like, man, you got white privilege, man. I didn't get nothing. You got everything. The reason predominantly, and you got other, like I said, you got exceptions to the rule in all races and everything. But the majority, the reason that you're seeing this white privilege notion being thrown around is because a lot of white folks care about their children because they're Christians. There is a moral backbone to this. It has nothing to do with privilege. I mean, the only reason that white person has a leg up on society before they're even adults is because there were parents to that child that worked their collective asses off. That worked their collective asses off so that child could have that privilege. That child wasn't given that privilege by government. That child wasn't given that privilege by God. That was given to him by the people that birthed that person. The seed and egg of that individual is what bequeathed whatever, a business, a college fund, money, a property, whatever the case might be. All right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to, folks. Now, let's talk about the Latin side, the Mexican side. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I've been in Texas my whole life. We got a lot of Mexicans walking around out here. We got a lot of them walking around. And obviously, I know a few, to say the least, in many different socioeconomic levels. I'm much like Donald Trump. I don't not like to not talk to anybody. I mean, I'll talk to workers. As a matter of fact, I drink with a lot of contractors, a lot of folks that, own bricklaying companies and granite companies and, folks that know how to lay the classiest of tile and, these folks. And I go drink with these folks and their workers. And what you'll find is that the majority of Mexicans, and even Mexican, and when I say this tentatively. When it comes to Mexicans, these fucking people work. That's what they do. That's what they're born to do. That's all they want to do is work. And they're very simple folk. They basically want to work, and then after they work, they want to take, whatever Tecate or whatever fucking Corona, whatever beer they guzzle down. After work, they want to guzzle it down and listen to some fucking Tejano or some Conjunto and dance around with a cowboy hat and big fucking pointy boots going, I mean, that's all they want. That's all they want. Now, what's unfortunate about that simple life, what's unfortunate about being all hard work and no mental prowess, is that when they have children, when this hard work ethic race that just, I can work 15 hours a day in the hard sun and it ain't shit. I can go out after that, drink for 4 hours, get sloppy drunk, get 3 hours of sleep, and get up and do the same damn thing. That's what a lot of these Mexicans do. And that work ethic is kind of builds a machismo. And that's where, Mexico, the country of Mexico, that's where all that, it's a Mexican thing with this machismo shit. And when they see their children doing something that doesn't require as much hard work and doesn't require as much time, effort, and energy to obtain the level as their parents, that's when you see the parents hating on the children. It becomes envy. It becomes envy. I've seen it. As a matter of fact, there's a movie about it that is a great movie. Jesus Christ, I forgot the Mexican movie, for Christ's sake. It's with Jimmy Schmitz. Who the fuck else is in? Your quintessential Mexican actors are in there. I believe it's called The Garcia. No, it's not. That's a fucking show. Anyway, regardless. Even in this movie with Schmitz, who else is in it? I don't even think. I think the only goddamn Mexican movie that Jimmy Schmitz did, whatever it is, okay, he plays like some fucking, in and out of jail, prisoner, locote, whatever. Anyway, in the movie, let me just explain to you this Mexican family that they're supposed to be chronicalizing in this movie. Jimmy Schmitz is this, your black sheep, in and out of jail, cholo of the family. And then you've got other people that, one's a loser dishwasher who writes poetry for himself and it doesn't accomplish a damn thing. You got another one over here who's just, baby making. And then you've got the one Mexican out of this family that got the hell out of the damn barrio and went to law school, became a great-ass lawyer, and got himself a nice blonde-headed white wife trophy and white parents, and because he doesn't want to affiliate with the bottom. I mean, that's the point. And you see, when he comes, and look, when in this movie, when the Mexican comes and brings his wife and his wife's parents are trying to be liberal about it. You know how these fucking white people are. They're like, hey, look, hey, dude, look at, what I'm saying? These white liberals. They're like, hey, how you doing? Wow, hi. Hey, look at that Mexican. What do you call that, a burrito? That's great. Wow. Anyway, the Mexicans get offended. You know what I mean? And they get offended, and they tell the fucking kid who became something out of that shithole fucking Mexican family. They tell him, what are you trying to do? You think you're better than us now? Huh? You think because you have a lawyer and you think because you got a white wife, you think you're better than us now? You think you're better than us? You think you're better than me, man? What the fuck? I mean, this is where the white privilege comes from. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? There is no white privilege. There's bad family culture. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm not saying whites are excluded from this. I mean, lest we forget, we got white trailer parks that have 4 or 5 generations in the same trailer, for heaven's sake. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, we need to realize that these abstract notions, these abstract pieces of rhetoric that are being pushed out by liberals to try to divide us, we need to just break those down. And we need to dissect them and ask them. What are you talking about when it comes to white privilege? What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that people that think that they didn't have it good enough should have something more because their families were a piece of shit. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, folks. And I feel bad for you folks that had families that are pieces of shit. Believe me, my family wasn't that great myself. But by God, you can't sit here with your hand out claiming that, hey, this person over here, it's not fair. He got a damn college fund. Hey, it's not fair. His parents gave him a goddamn business. Hey, it's not fair. She was given a bunch of property by the parents. Hey, that's because their parents loved them more than your parents loved you. Okay? I mean, and listen, I know people are going to say, well, wait a minute, Ghost. Well, what if my parents couldn't do it? What if my parents were just impoverished and they didn't know what to do? Let me tell you a real quick story, and then we're going to move on to cryptocurrency and the stock market. Let me tell you a story about a rapper by the name of, what is he calling himself now? P. Diddy. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call him, okay? Now, how the hell did P. Diddy become P. Diddy? P. Diddy was not raised in the ghetto. And let me explain P. Diddy's life in a nutshell. P. Diddy lost his father at a very young age. His mother, who was very pampered by his father, and so were the children, did not want that pampering or that lifestyle that was established by the father to go away. I mean, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever the fuck his name is, mother cared so much about Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy Combs, that she did not want Sean Combs to go out of that lifestyle. She didn't want him to have to readjust to something that goes backwards. So you know what Puff Daddy, P. Diddy's mother did? She worked 2 to 3 jobs for 20 plus years so that Puff Daddy could have the good shit, have the good threads, have the good toys, have the good materials, etc. And that's really what kind of motivated P. Diddy. That's what kind of motivated Puff Daddy to be something better than what his mother was attaining. His mother was attaining middle to upper middle class material lifestyle, and gave it to Puff Daddy, gave it to P. Diddy, and you know what? That inspired him. It inspired him to want more. And you know what his mother did? His mother said, go and get more, son. Go and do more. And that's what he did, man. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He found a job with a record company, ended up making lots of money for that record company, made a lot of money for himself, and decided, man, I could do this on my own. I could do this. And that's what he did. And the rest is history, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, Puff Daddy, what is he worth now? Who the hell knows how much he's worth now? If he ain't worth about $600 million, he ain't crap. Self-made. Self-made black man. And did putting out his hand, begging for reparations, pointing at people, claiming white privilege, did that get him the cash or whatever it was that he wanted in life? Did that get him that? No. Capitalism is what got Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs that. And that's what I'm telling each and every one of you. Don't blame anybody for anything. If you really want something, okay, so what? Your mommy and daddy didn't get it for you, didn't bequeath it to you, didn't let you inherit it. So fucking what? It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to realize that, look, I can make my own goddamn destiny happen. I just got to stop making excuses and keep going forward amidst all obstacles, amidst anything that comes at you, and conquer it. And even if you fail, folks, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Folks, what you need to do with failure is learn from it and make sure you never do it again. And then you keep moving forward. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you just going to sit around and bitch and moan like everybody else out here? Or are you going to go out and do something about it? Are you going to go out and make something of yourself? You can do it, man. I mean, look at P. Diddy, Puff Daddy's mother. She was a black woman, all right? You know what she did? She worked the service industry, and she worked 2 or 3 jobs making sure that P. Diddy had an upper middle class material life. And you know what that inspired P. Diddy to do? He's like, man, I want to make even more money. I want to make even more money. Same thing with the Birdman, since we're talking about black people. The Birdman from Cash Money Records. His daddy was an entrepreneur out there in New Orleans. He owned Gladys's Bar. Gladys's Bar was actually Birdman's mother before she was murdered, I believe. And, this guy learned everything from his father. His father was a local entrepreneurial businessman that was respected in the Louisiana community. And Birdman wanted more than that, baby. He wanted more than just, I got to work, I got to do this, and I'm a local businessman. He wanted to go local but go global. And through his own motivation, self-determination, prowess, skills, creativity, etc., he was able to carve out his own destiny. And the reason I'm bringing up black folks is because there was no white privilege involved in any of these stories. They just had good families. And if you identify that you didn't have a good family, if you identify that you had a bad upbringing, well then use that as motivation to fuel you into encompassing the skills and creativity and the ambition necessary to run from the bottom, baby. Run from that fucking bottom. Don't be sitting here making excuses, for Christ's sake. Anyway, once again, white privilege, huh? White privilege. What a joke. White privilege equals good family. That's what that means. White privilege equals good family values. That's all it is, all right? I mean, I explained it here to you, and I had to say it. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sick of hearing this fucking white privilege garbage. I'm sick of it, all right? I'm sick. As a matter of fact, I'm so sick I'm not even drinking tonight. How you like that? I got a Coca-Cola. How about that? How you like that? And by the way, I drink my Coca-Colas with straws in it because I don't want my teeth to rot out my fucking head. All right? And I know that you environmentalists, oh, but Ghost, don't you know that those straws go up the nose of tortoises and fish? And I didn't throw it away in the fucking ocean, you dumb Nimrod. All right. Now that we got that all out of the way, folks, I just had to say that. I'm sorry. I'm tired of hearing white privilege. I'm tired of hearing it. White privilege means good family values, and that's all there is to it, okay? Now, let's get to cryptocurrency, because I know that everybody's like, all right, Ghost, what's happening? We're starting to see green in the market. Well, folks, look at the dollar index, baby. It has been going down for the past couple of days. And as it incrementally goes down, once it goes down close to either 0.5% or over 0.5%, that's when you start seeing that money go right back into the cryptocurrency. I mean, if you take a look at the dollar spot index right now and take a look at a chart, you can see a gradual downturn. You understand? You can, just in the month. And as a result, some of that is going into the cryptocurrency markets. And not to mention, folks, you do have a lot of stock platforms that are integrating cryptocurrency into their platforms. You've got big-time investment firms that are in the stock arena that are now creating platforms in which they, either internally amongst their traders or with their actual clients, they can trade cryptocurrency beyond the whole futures notion. I mean, even Goldman Sachs is setting it up. Even J.P. Morgan is setting it up. I'm telling you, I mean, this is where the money's at. And I'm telling you, when you see, I mean, these fucking prices for, I'm talking the good coins, folks. I'm not talking shit coins that are complete scams. I'm talking the good cryptocurrencies. These are dirt, rock bottom prices. I mean, once these stock guys and these people in the investment community come in, we're going to go from right now, the market capitalization of cryptocurrency is $256 billion. $256 billion market capitalization for the entire cryptocurrency market. Folks, that ain't shit. Like I said, the stock market has like $30 trillion market capitalization. And those are stocks. Those are pieces of companies. This is currency, folks. And what creates the currency is the technology and the integration of that technology into a blockchain that is created by the same team or a partnership if that in that capacity. Let me explain. I've said this 1,000 times, but it bears repeating. If you take a look at how much fiat currency is in the world, Google up how much money is there in the world, it'll give you an estimate of $75 trillion in fiat circulating the world today. In a world that has, 7.3 billion people? 75 trillion in fiat is not sufficing 7.3 billion people. I mean, there's estimates of $200 to $250 trillion demand for money worldwide. Some kind of currency system that, can be trusted and not debased. And many of these impoverished nations, folks, that's their main problem with why they're an impoverished nation, is that they debase their currency because they have no idea, first of all, how to run a monetary system. Secondly, economics 101. So this cryptocurrency provides an avenue for folks that are looking for money. And people ask me, what the hell does that mean, looking for money, Ghost? It's like the Zimbabwe farmers. I mean, take a look at Zimbabwe's fiat currency, folks. It's ridiculous. It's so debased that you're going to have to pay like $30,000 or whatever it is for a roll of toilet paper. I mean, it's that debased. It's ridiculous. It almost took out Zimbabwe's agriculture and farmer economic arena. But what the farmers did in Zimbabwe was find Bitcoin. They found Bitcoin and started utilizing it as a means to exchange their commodities and their agrarian goods. And as a result, it saved the farming industry in Zimbabwe because they can collect Bitcoin. And remember, they can exchange that Bitcoin in one of the other African countries where they can either get probably whatever Nigerian dollar or whatever. They can exchange it for whatever fiat and actually get more goods, more capital goods, more farming equipment, etc. I mean, this is what cryptocurrency provides. I mean, it goes way beyond what the stock market is, and that's why even the United States Commodities Commission, I forgot what the fucking bureaucratic wing is. It's the overseers of the commodities trading market. The government body, the regulatory body that oversees the commodities market. Even they put out a report and said that we're witnessing in cryptocurrency a modern-day miracle, and cryptocurrency is inevitably going to be used to exchange goods and services. So when I'm covering this now, folks, and that's why I'm glad I'm archiving these fucking shows, in 5 years, you're going to be shocked how cheap these fucking prices for crypto were. You're going to be utter shocked. And not to mention, take a look at most of the fiat currencies in the world anyway. Most of them are going down the tubes. Why? Because they kept printing money. They kept printing money to put Band-Aids on bad economic policies of these governments. So, I mean, that's why I'm telling everybody in here, I mean, cryptocurrency is where it's at, especially you young people. You young people, man, y'all ain't doing nothing else. All right? I mean, instead of saving your goddamn little money, however you make it, doesn't matter how much you make, put it into cryptocurrency for Christ's sake. All right? And hold it. I mean, even if you don't understand pattern trading or short-term trading, just hold it and see what I'm talking about. Now, with that being said, like I said, the market capitalization of the entire cryptocurrency market is $256 billion right now. Scratch in the surface. Let's take a look at some of these cryptos here. Bitcoin, once again, you're seeing a lot of things written about Bitcoin. Finally, people are starting to realize that it may be the end of Bitcoin because, let's be honest, we really don't need Bitcoin at this point. The only thing and the only reason Bitcoin is as high as it is because of over-speculation based upon the notoriety of the word Bitcoin. I mean, whenever anybody talks about cryptocurrency, first thing that comes to their mind, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. It was the first blockchain on the block. I mean, it is what it is. So it's going to continue to be speculated, in my opinion, until finally there comes a shakeout in the coin industry, in this whole cryptocurrency coin industry. And we finally start seeing the new supreme coins that are going to be used in the international community. Because lest we forget, cryptocurrency is a global currency. Now, I know that people are going to, say, well, Ghost, isn't that kind of globalist? No, it's not globalist in the sense that there's no central bank that is going to manipulate the currency or the monetary system of these cryptos. These are algorithms that are predetermined to mine or proof of stake only so many tokens, only so many coins, and that's it. And then once they produce that, there's nothing else to produce. You can't produce any more. And then that adds value to the fact that, because there's no more produce, there's scarcity in the currency. There's value in the currency, etc. So, in my personal opinion, folks, I mean, even though it's a global currency to exchange goods and services, I think it creates better opportunities for trade. And I'm not just talking for government trade. I'm talking about independent business trade. I mean, there are things and products that are produced in America that maybe somebody in Australia would want. And instead of utilizing the whole, I got to convert my Australian dollars to U.S. dollars, they can just pay me in a cryptocurrency and I can send it to them and boom. No exchanging of fiats, no exchange rates, none of that. And the beautiful part about cryptocurrency is that there is no bank that is charging you to hold your money. There is no bank that is charging you to hold your own money. You are the bank. You are your own bank, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about it. It puts the individual in charge of their own financial destiny. I love what cryptocurrency represents to the new economy. I mean, I want to let you all know, I've said this time and time again, if you are in cryptocurrency, you are taking part, especially right now, in an economic revolution that no one saw coming. Anyway, let's take a look at Bitcoin, symbol BTC. Current market capitalization is $107 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 17.1 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 1.55%. Current price for Bitcoin is $6,259.68 per Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum took it on the teeth here recently, and that probably is because one of the Ethereum co-founders was recently heard in an interview stating that he actually likes Quantum better than Ethereum. Look it up, folks. One of the co-creators of Ether said, hey, you know what? I actually like Quantum. It's got a better smart contract technology. I get it. And boom. I mean, it is what it is. And Ethereum, I think it took a little bit of a flat line because of that. Let's take a look at it. Ethereum, ETH. Current market capitalization is $46 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply, 100 million in circulation. And like I said, it doesn't sound like there's any end to this circulation. It sounds much like Dogecoin. So I don't know what the hell Ethereum and their group are going to do with this. I mean, there's a lot of questions coming out. That's why people are starting to take a look at Quantum. And other coins that do, smart contract technology, etc. And, it is what it is. So, anyway, 100 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, it has gone up from going tremendously down from yesterday. It is up 1.18%. Current price for Ethereum is $461.21 per Ethereum. Let's get to Bitcoin Cash, shall we? Bitcoin Cash is definitely contracted to where it looks like a pretty good short and pattern trading play as far as I'm concerned. BCH is the symbol. Current market capitalization for Bitcoin Cash is $13 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, it has gone up 1.11%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash is $757.38 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a look at Litecoin. I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like the levels that Litecoin is right now. That looks pretty nice, to say the least. If you take a look at the chart of Litecoin, even though Charlie Lee's an idiot, but either way, the Litecoin chart, the highest it was at is at $331. So you've got lots of people in Litecoin right now holding the bag from $331 to the current price. So I like that. Not to mention it doesn't have a tremendously huge circulation either. So, take a look at Litecoin here in the short and pattern trade. It's my opinion, of course, but take a look at it. LTC is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $4.6 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 57 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone up 2.24%. Litecoin's current price, $82.23 per Litecoin. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Monero. Folks, Monero has been increasing here in the past couple of days. I don't really know the news on this, but I know it does like to run. I did see it on the plus side while everything else was contracting, so that was a very interesting phenomena. Keep your eye on Monero. XMR, once again, it likes to run for the short and pattern traders out there. It is current market capitalization is $2 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply for Monero is 16.1 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone up 4.46%. Current price for Monero is $127.03 per Monero. Let's take a look at Dash, baby. Dash, D-A-S-H. I like it because it's a fast transaction speed, low transaction fee, low circulation, and it's been around, baby. Remember, this was dark coin back in the day, remember? Anyway, let's take a look at Dash. Dash right now is at $1.9 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply for Dash is 8.1 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone up 1.36%. Current price for Dash, $241.47 per Dash. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum Classic here. And the reason I'm saying this is because it was just added to the Coinbase exchange, and it's taken a big step upward in the plus side. So I'm going to cover it here just because of that. All right, just because of that. Ethereum Classic, ETC is the symbol. Current market capitalization for Ethereum Classic is $1.6 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 102 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen Ethereum Classic go up 7.23%. Current price for Ethereum Classic is $15.92 per Ethereum Classic. Let's take a look at Zcash, baby. Now, there is going to be a hard fork in Zcash. There is going to be a hard fork in Zcash here coming this month, folks. They are re-establishing a whole new technology for Zcash, and there could be a complete split here. So everybody take a look at Zcash, because here comes a hard fork, to say the least, okay? It's coming. Do the research on your own. It's coming up this month. Take a look at it. Take a look at what exchanges are honoring it, etc. Zcash, folks. ZEC is the symbol. And I like Zcash because, first of all, the privacy. Secondly, low circulation. Not to mention, you got some big wigs invested in this. JP Morgan's invested in this, etc. So I like Zcash. I've got Zcash in my portfolio. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Zcash, current market capitalization is $747 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 4.2 million in circulation. That's very low. That's still pretty low. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone up 6.22%. Current price for Zcash, $177.26 per Zcash. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you, all weekend I was gobbling up as much quantum as I can. I'm not even kidding around. I don't think you'll ever see quantum at these low levels again. Ever. Ever. Let me take a swig of my soda here. Good sody pop. Anyway, you will never see quantum at these levels again. And the reason is, folks, is because, first of all, this is an Asian coin. So it's not very known amongst Western coin investors. It's got all these deals, got all kinds of deals going on. Do the research. It'll show you how many deals it's gone, partnerships it's going in. It's going to have the most nodes of all coins here, and that's coming up here in the next year or so. It's going to have more nodes than Ether, more nodes than Bitcoin, more nodes than any cryptocurrency out there in the market today. And I'm excited, man. I'm telling you, this is my biggest long-term holding. I am not kidding, okay? I am not joking around. I mean, as much as, like, people profited during the Ethereum and the Bitcoin rise, I mean, this is another one of those. And if you want my opinion, I mean, I personally believe that this is a coin of the future. I mean, this is the coin that could potentially be the coin of coins. And how do I base that? What do I base that on? I base that on its technology, man. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, its technology far surpasses Ethereum. And, folks, Ethereum, it got as high as, what, $1,100? I mean, come on. Let's take a look at quantum. Once again, QTUM is the symbol, one of my biggest holdings, and I acquired a good several hundred chunk at these prices. I'm not even kidding around, man. And lest we forget that it's a proof of stake coins, okay, folks? So, like, let's say you're holding 500, a couple of hundred, 1,000 quantum. If you have it in your Quantum Core wallet, and you just have it there on your desktop, and it'll provide, I hate to use the term dividend because that's stock terminology, but it will give you quantum for you holding your quantum in your quantum wallet. It's called proof of stake. It's called proof of stake. And on top of this, you've got so many coins now that are now coming out that are using the QRC token. And the QRC token is a quantum. It's its own token. And these coins are being airdropped into Quantum Core wallets. So, and of course, they're being airdropped into Quantum Core wallets based upon how much quantum you own. But there are so many reasons right now to own it. And on top of this, the potential growth. I'm not joking, man. Biggest holding, and I'm proud to hold it. And I'm telling you, once this damn thing goes up to $500, $600, $700, everybody in the inner circle is going to be rich. There's going to be a lot of people in the damn True Capitalist Radio chat room that are going to be filthy rich. And, that's the way it is, you know. They listen to True Capitalist Radio, baby. The underground of the internet. The underground. Anyway, let's get to quantum, folks, all right? Right now, it's at a very, very low buyable price. Current market capitalization is $745 million market cap. The current circulating supply for quantum is 88 million. 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, quantum has gone up slightly, 1.92%. Current price for quantum, $8.40. I mean, good God, that is so buyable, man. Do you understand that the highest price point that we've gotten on this has been over $100, like $110? So you got people holding the bag at $110, and you're down to this $8 level. I mean, this damn coin does what not only Bitcoin does, but Ethereum does, and does it 100,000 times better. Did I say 100,000 times? What am I, fucking chink? 100,000 times better, excuse me. Sorry. And if you happen to be Asian, you know, give me a break, all right? Don't take offense, man. It's just words, okay, buddy? Everything's going to be okay. All right? You're still going to have your fucking egg roll tomorrow, all right? Shut up. All right, look, we're running out of time here. Let me go ahead and get to another one of my biggest holdings, and I'm talking about 42 Coin, folks. 42 Coin. Now, they just put out their new wallet. Very easy to work with. I like it. All of my 42 Coin is in the wallet. All of my 42 Coin is in the wallet. Now, I strongly advise people to start slowly accumulating 42 Coin. Because we got regulatory bodies coming into the crypto arena, I cannot give too much detail into what's going to happen here in the year of 2018, you know? But I'm just telling you, man, it's an investment. That's why the inner circle's in it. It's basically our coin. I mean, I love this coin. I mean, low circulation. It's a good pattern or swing trading play, and it's a long-term investment, man. I mean, this is what you can hold your crypto in whenever there's a contraction, and you ain't going to lose crypto. As a matter of fact, you may even gain crypto. During the whole damn contraction, 42 Coin was in the positive. So let me go ahead and take a look at 42 Coin right now, folks. Current market capitalization for 42 Coin is $1 million. The current circulating supply for 42 Coin is just 42 coins. That's it. Just 42 coins. That's all that's in circulation. And I believe the Inner Circle and myself have, I think, a little over 5 of them. So we're trying to get the... We want it all, baby! We want the whole fucking coin! But we're slowly accumulating. Slowly. In the past 24 hours, 42 Coin has gone up 17.15%. 17.15%. That's what I keep telling you, man. This is a coin to be looking after. Whether you're going to be invested in the long term or you're going to be swing or pattern trading. 42 Coin, man. The current price for 42 Coin, $26,125 per 42 Coin. And that ain't nothing. We've seen it as high as 100,000 within the past several months. So just wait. All right, this is going to be $1 million coin. It's going to be $1 million damn dollar coin. Just watch. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and move away from the cryptocurrency coverage, and let's go ahead and go right into the stock coverage, because I know everybody is looking at their portfolios and like, Murr? Folks, the stock market is reacting because of this potential trade war that I believe is a big nothing burger. All right, I mean, it's about time that the United States stands up for itself in these trade deals. We've been taking the shaft for over 30 years on many of these trade deals, and I'm glad the president has the balls and the foresight to understand that this is a serious problem to America's national security. I'm glad he does. Now, folks, you saw some negativity in the stock market today, and once again, you've got people that obviously have ideological reasons of doing so, trying to make news suggesting that they need to leave the country because of these tariffs. One such company, Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson, you know, the American motorcycle company. You know what they're saying? They're saying because of the tariffs, they're going to have to leave production out of the United States. They have to take the production outside the United States and produce it in Brazil or in Malaysia or somewhere else, not the United States, because, quote, the tariffs. This is an American motorcycle company. I mean, you know what, Harley Davidson? Get the hell out of America. Your bikes have sucked for the past 20 years anyway. Get out! We don't need you. You're a commercialized fucking motorcycle, and every one of you pussies that come to fucking Sturgis every year with a pussy whip fucking goddamn Harley Davidson, I spit at it. Oh, I got a Harley Davidson, man. I got a Harley here. Shut up! Nobody buys Harleys anymore. Everybody buys their own souped-up, modified, special build. That's what people are doing now, for Christ's sake. Yeah, Harley, the American motorcycle. You know what? They turned their backs on America. And let me tell you something. What have I always told each and every one of you out there on this broadcast? Where you spend your money is a political statement. Where you spend your money is a political statement. So don't spend one more dime on any Harley-Davidson-related crap. You want to turn your back on America, boy? Get out! Go sell your pissing, shitty, crappy bikes to the Euro cucks. Go sell them over there. Get out of here. Stupid Harley Davidson. Anyway, folks, we're now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right? Spread it out there. Go to the chat rooms. Go to the forum posts. Go to the blogs. Go to the social media and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right here, once again, on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is ghost.report. Ghost.report is the website, folks. So go ahead, check it out, and spread that show link around like wildfire, because this is the Internet Underground. We are the Internet Underground, boy. And this is the only place that's going to give you the straight political dope and give you some damn economic information that's going to put some money in your pocket, all right? Don't you ever forget it. Ghost.report. And by the way, folks, I'd like to remind everybody to please follow me on my only social media representation on the Internet, and that's at Gab, folks. All right, you can type that in your browser right now. Type it in your browser, gab.ai, gab.ai, and once you get there, you can follow me under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab. And once again, what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? I'm telling you, I really like the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man. Everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room is now a straight, legit listener now. There's no more tards. There's no more enemy. There's no more, sick, twisted, cartoon fetish man-children. Everybody is crypto, stocks, business, politics, international relations, social criticism. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful chat room. If you want to come in here and kick back with us, well, then all you got to do, once again, go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me. Jesus Christ, I got tongue-tied there. Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name. And once you do, I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? So once again, hit the subscribe button for premium content. Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll give you an invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. All right? All right, now that we've gotten that all out of the way, let's get back to the markets, shall we? Let's go ahead and get to the stocks. Once again, we're seeing a little bit of red in the stock market because of the so-called trade wars. And I think that Wall Street is making much to do about nothing, but, it's Wall Street. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. We were down on the Dow today as low as over 500 points. Ouch. But luckily we bounced back, even though we're still majorly in the negative. It's a hell of a lot better than 500 points. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. Today we were down 328.09 points a percentage decrease of 1.33%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 24,252.80 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. Let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. It was also down today, 37.81 points, a percentage decrease of 1.37%, closing out the S&P at 2,717.07 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is down today, 160.81 points, a percentage decrease of 2.09%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,532.01 points for the NASDAQ Composite. Good God. Definitely a bloody Monday, but once again, it's just these Wall Street investors spooked about all this tariff talk. But what proves to me that, this is all just kind of a reactionary sell-off is because you'll take a look here in a minute, the metals aren't jumping. So if there was a legitimate urgency when it comes to this supposed tariff trade war that we're in, we would see investors go right to gold and silver, which are traditionally the safety nets in investment. When uncertainty arises, be sure to take a look at gold and silver's prices, all right? Anyway, let's get to energy first, okay? Now, once again, OPEC, they pulled the turbine on us. We thought that they were going to increase production. That's what caused the contraction heading into the OPEC meeting, what was it, last week? Well, these goddamn OPEC turbine-wearing idiots, they pulled the turbine on us, and they said they were going to increase production, but not as much as they anticipated. So as a result, you saw a run on oil here for the past for the past 4 or 5 days. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. WTI sweet crude, it is up today a dime, 10 cents, a percentage increase of 0.15%, closing out WTI at $68.18 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude also up today, 29 cents, a percentage increase of 0.39%, closing out Brent crude at $75.02 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline up today, 0.34%. Natural gas is up 0.21%, and heating oil is up 0.39%. Now let's take a look at the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's take a look at the goddamn metals. Now, once again, even though you saw these dramatic 1.5–2% decreases in the equities market, we should see some translation of increases in the metals market, right? I mean, if everybody's truly scared in the investment community about these tariffs, we would see everybody be flocking to gold and silver right now. Is that the case? I think not. Let's take a look at it right now. Gold down today $1.20, a percentage decrease of 0.09%, closing out gold at $1,267.70 per ounce of gold. We've got silver today unchanged. It is unchanged today. Current price for silver is $16.41 per troy ounce of silver. Copper up very modestly. It is only up 0.03% increase for copper. Platinum is up modestly as well, only up 0.05% increase for platinum. I mean, this is what I'm saying, folks. I mean, if these investors were truly scared about these damn tariffs, we'd be seeing them go to the metals right now. But they're not. And I'm telling you, it's a reactionary sell-off because what's going to happen if worst-case scenario happens with these tariffs? I've said it time and time again. What's the worst-case scenario? That we just don't come to a deal and the almost $1 trillion that would be going outside the United States to China, to Canada, to Mexico, to the European Union would just stay right here in America. And not to mention, you don't think that there'll be countries salivating, being like, hey, America, we'll produce your products. Give us some of that $1 trillion. I mean, they'll be begging for it, man. We'll make somebody else's country. Because, folks, we've been having these imbalanced trade deals. We've been having these imbalanced trade deals for 30 years with these damn countries. And we've made these countries filthy rich. That's why they've modernized. Why do you think China's modernized? It's our money that helped modernize them, for Christ's sake. How do you think the European Union was able to erect itself under the noses of all its member states? Our fucking cash! And I'm glad that President Trump is standing up to these pieces of crap and saying, hey, look, we're not the stupid country anymore, all right? We are now politically and economically aware, and we are not going to sleep. Thank God Donald Trump is president. Good God. But once again, folks, worst case scenario, we don't get any deals from these stupid moronic countries that are supposed to be our allies. Remember? Oh, I can't believe he's doing this to our allies. They don't seem like friends to me. They seem like that type of friend that you lent money to all the time, and then you finally stop and say, look, I'm not going to lend you money anymore. And then they look at you like you farted on their best suit or something, and they're like, what? You're not going to lend me money? Well, fuck you. I thought you were my friend. You're not my friend. You used to always lend me money. Now you're not going to lend me money? Well, fuck you. That's typical American friendship, huh? I mean, is that what friends are for? Huh? Is this what allies are for? Give me a break. Give me a goddamn break. But like I said, worst case scenario, we don't make any fucking trade deals with these people. That's almost $1 trillion that's going to stay here in this country. Is that a bad thing, really? Is that really a bad thing? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. How do we lose when the money stays here? Can somebody explain that? How does America lose if the money stays here? What? We won't be able to pay for the cheap electronic crap that's shitted out of China? Oh, whoa, I'm sorry. Let me have my next electronic widget that's going to shit out in 6 months. Get the hell out of here. Who cares? What do we purchase from, aside from China? What do we purchase from Canada that's worth a shit? Nothing. Mexico, except avocados from Mexico. That's the only shit. That's all. That's all they produce. That's worth the shit. And I like avocados. I like guac. All right, I like having guac on stuff. But let me tell you, I'll throw guac in the damn trash if it means that I'm going to be supporting Mexico, which are a bunch of ungrateful pieces of machismo shit. We're sitting over here, Trump is trying to show Mexico, like, hey, Mexico, you could basically take what we're going to take from China and we could give it to you. You just have to play ball and stop being such a machismo idiot and just say, look, we are going to pay for the wall, but in exchange we are going to get another $200 billion on an annual basis of the United States money in trade. You don't think... Well, I don't know if the country will react positively to it, man. The whole damn country of Mexico are a bunch of morons, man. If they were smart, they would sit down with Trump and say, look, Trump, we can go ahead. We could produce everything that the Chinese did. We can do it. We can produce it. We want the money, Trump, okay? We'll say we'll pay for the wall. We want the money. We want to produce it, we want the money, and we want to take it across the border, and it'll be very easy, and it'll be very quick, and we can compete with the Chinese. But no, what do you have? What do you have out here in Mexico? Hey, fuck Trump, Holmes. Fuck Trump. Hey, Trump, fuck you, man. We're not going to pay for your fucking wall, man. Stupid burrito-eating idiots, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mexico could literally bring China to its knees, but because they are so damn machismo, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Jesus. Anyway, let's get to the agricultural commodities, all right, folks? Let's get to grains. Corn is unchanged. Wheat is up 0.10%. Or excuse me, 0.10%, excuse me. Oats is up 0.12%. Rough rice has finally slowed down its growth. It is up 0.05%. Soybean is up 0.06%. Soybean oil is up 0.07%. And canola is down 0.14%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, it's down 1.35%. Coffee.
Hey, dude, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me unless I have my coffee, dude. Yeah.
Shut up, you stupid, dumb, goddamn hipster fruit. We got coffee up 0.21%. And by the way, remember when I used to say, boycott Starbucks? It worked, baby. I'm telling you, they're closing down 150, 160 Starbucks locations because they thought they could thumb their noses at America and say,
you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and hire 10,000 refugees. And, oh, yeah, we're sorry, lording black men who just want to use our bathroom for nefarious purposes. I'm sorry, black men. We didn't mean to kick you out. As a matter of fact, come on down. Everybody can use our toilet. Everybody... come on, homeless. I mean, it's all this liberalism is crashing down on Starbucks' head. I mean, did they not forget that their customer pays like, what, $10, $12 for a coffee? Who the hell's going to want to go into a location and pay $10 to $12 a coffee when you've got homeless people shitting in the bathroom, you got, loitering black people that are just sitting around not doing anything, not buying anything? I mean, come on, man. You got to protect your business. And you see, if I was a Starbucks stockholder, I'd be pissed off right now. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the hell is this? I mean, what are we, a political party, or are we a fucking business? What is this crap? Anyway, once again, where you spend your money is a political statement, folks. And if you all stop spending your money on a corporation that doesn't appreciate American people, they're going to fall. They're going to fall. That's why I keep repeating this on this broadcast. Where you spend your money is a political statement, man. Damn it! Anyway, orange juice is down. All right, let's get to orange juice. It is down 1.77%. Cotton is down 0.45%. Lumber is up 0.07%. We've got rubber down 0.23%. Ethanol is down 1.26%. Good God. Let's take a look at livestock, shall we? Now, look, the reason we're seeing such negativity in livestock is because the trade wars, okay? Because beef is one of our biggest commodities out here. We export a lot of beef. And, hey, if these dumb foreigners are going to act like a bunch of jackasses and not renegotiate trade deals, well, they don't deserve American beef, boy. They don't deserve the best goddamn beef in the fucking world. They don't deserve it, boy. We'll keep it here. And you know what we used to... I'm going to be honest with you kids, okay? You want to know why y'all are soy boy, bone brittle faggots? I'm going to be honest with you. It's because your parents, they didn't prioritize your eating habits when, culminating the budget of their family. And I see this even today. I see people literally feed their kids whatever they want to eat. And if you ask kids whatever they want to eat, they're going to eat dirt shit. I know some stupid lady that actually lets her child eat nothing but tortillas. Flour tortillas from like H-E-B, which is our local grocery store. I mean, is that supposed to nourish a child? It's a child. You're supposed to be nourishing your children with as many nutrients and as many minerals and as many herbs and spices as possible. You know what they used to tell us back in the 60s and 70s when we were growing up? When we were growing up back in those days, they said, look, you're going to have to feed your teenage boy beef, and lots of beef. Nice, good red beef. They were encouraging this. As a matter of fact, I recollect them encouraging it throughout the food group system up until about the mid-'80s. And then once the mid-'80s came around, I don't know what the hell happened, started fruiting up or some shit, and they took meat out of the whole goddamn food equation. And folks, if you have a growing boy, man, feed that boy beef. Do you understand that? Feed that boy beef. That's why you see all these kids nowadays, they don't like to play sports anymore because they're afraid they're going to break their bones. And the reason their bones are so brittle, folks, is because they're not nourished properly. They're not nourished properly. And it shocks me that there are people that prioritize other aspects of their family budget to other stupid shit than to actually properly feed your children. I can't believe it. It shocks me. It shocks me. You know that there are some parents out here, obviously single parents, that they don't even feed their children, that they depend on the free breakfast and the free lunch of school to suffice their children's eating habits. And we've all seen what Michelle Obama put on everybody's plate and everybody's tray out there in school. It was dog shit. I think prisoners got fed better than the goddamn students during the Obama tenure, for Christ's sake. And we wonder why these people are all fucking weak now, why there's brittle-boned fruit bowl males. It's what they ate. It's what they were ingesting in their body. And I'm sick and tired of hearing people say, "Oh, I'm a vegan, and I've never felt better in my life." These people look like fucking AIDS victims. You know, they got sunken cheeks and swollen eyes, and "Oh no, I've never felt better in my life." I mean, you can see their gum line through their mouth. I mean, it's just, these people are sick. I mean, where did we go into this realm of lunacy? Where the hell did we go into this realm of insanity? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, I didn't mean to get off of that tirade, but once again, feed your children beef, please, and make sure it has blood in it, because that's what makes it healthy. Do you understand that? That's what makes it healthy. Blood inside the beef is what makes it healthy. If you don't believe me, just take a look at what it does to your child. Feed your child beef a little bit for a week and see if he's just not ready to take on school, ready to take on anything. I mean, he'll be able to take a fall and get up and just brush his shoulders off like it ain't crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not joking. I mean, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this soy boy shit. I mean, are you? I mean, they've actually got these loser men nowadays, and these up-and-coming faggot generations, they've actually got them drinking something called Soylent. They actually have something that these people are drinking called Soylent. Did you all know that was a movie, you dumb idiots? Back in, what, the 70s? Was it? I don't know when the hell it was. Soylent Green. Soylent Green. It was about the future in which we were all destitute subjects and, you know, human beings dependent on the government or whatever authority figure there was out here. And the only thing that they fed us in this movie was Soylent Green. Here is your batch of Soylent Green. Here is your share of Soylent Green. And then, I hate to give the movie away, but at the end of the movie, they realized that Soylent Green were actual people. It was people. It was people. And now they've got these people drinking something called Soylent. I mean, I can't believe that these manipulators of mass people can get away with this stuff. I can't believe people can allow these people to get away with this stuff. Ugh. Anyway, let me get to livestock, okay? This is why we're seeing such decreases, because once again, trade war, yada yada. We got live cattle down 2.83% decrease. We've got cattle feeder down 2.30% decrease. And lean hog, and folks, we already know what to do, right? The fucking ham bone movement. All right, when you pass by these stupid, dumb waste of human flapjack-titted, back-titted fucking pieces of cellulite dripping off their neck, pieces of crap that are riding around in their hover-rounds in a grocery store or shopping mall, all you've got to do, don't confront them, don't harass them, just walk by them and say, "Hambo, fat, greasy-ass, smelly-ass, stinky Hambo. I'm telling you, we need to make America beautiful again." Hey, wait a minute. Didn't fucking Nancy Pelosi say that? God damn it, Nancy! You plastic fakes! Fuck! You ripped me off! We need to make America better looking. How about that? Just need to make them better looking, all right? I mean, enough of these fat fucks, all right? Enough of these fat, jelly-ass, obese, Snorlax pieces of wastes of life. I mean, Have y'all ever heard of this one show? I hate to bring it up. On TLC, it used to be called the Learning Channel. I don't know what the fuck it's called anymore because it's obnoxious, ridiculous, bowels of reality television is what's on that channel now. But they actually have a show called My 600-Pound Life. And I've been flipping the channels as of late, and this shit's always on. First of all, this My 600-Pound Life, always on. And every time I flip it and it's on, it's a new fucking 600-pounder. It's a new 600 fucking pounder. How many of these fatties are we producing in America, man? My 600-pound life. Oh, Jesus. I mean, good God. It's a different fucking fatty. It's a different 600 fucking pound fatty every time I turn on that channel. Jesus Christ, stop eating! Anyway, folks, that's the markets for your ass, all right? Now, let me go ahead and take another drink of this cola here. Good stuff. And let's go ahead and get right into the news. I do want to say what's going on to everybody in the chat room that's chatting. What's going on to Man Bear Pig, Distilling, Insane, Capitalist America, Stagio, Politic Fact equals Fake News. We got, who else is there? The Pet Mexican is chatting in here. Sparked, Hoodie, who else? We get Nat, and that's about it. Blasphemous, what's going on for all these guys chatting in here, making the chat room a little bit active? I appreciate the commentary. I'm watching you guys, baby. What's up? Anyway, let me go ahead and move on to the next subject matter, folks. Let's go ahead and talk about the president. All right, now, I'm glad the president has finally said, you know what, no more Mr. fucking Nice Guy. No more fucking Mr. Nice Guy, man. We're putting out a zero tolerance policy now for immigration. And you see, this is why last Wednesday, if you take a listen to that broadcast, I sounded so fucking jaded when the president signed that executive order on this whatever child separation nonsense. You know that? I mean, I'm not even... I got upset about it. I was like, Mr. President, come on, man. Come on, this was a political stunt, and I think at this point in time, everybody is starting to understand that. And now that the president understands that everybody does understand that, he's starting to be like, you know what? Fuck immigration. I'm serious. I mean, he's come out like a madman now. He's come out like a madman. Now he says that we should have a zero tolerance on immigration, and we need to deport immigrant, quote, invaders with no judges or court cases. I mean, you're damn right. This is what we need to do, Mr. President. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. There's no need to bow down politically to these Democrats. They don't care, Mr. President. Now, listen, I understand that Donald Trump is a businessman, and what he was trying to do was trying to offer an olive branch so that the Democrats could deal or capitulate in some capacity so that they could come up with some kind of immigration situation. But the Democrats don't want to deal. I don't know what's motivating these people, but we're going to talk about it in a second. These people, in my opinion, want civil war. They're trying to induce civil war. I mean, it can't be any more obvious, folks, all right? It can't be any more obvious. You notice that every one of these Democrats are now utilizing, well, what about those kids? What about those immigrant kids that are being separated from their families? Do you not care? I mean, folks, you had a congresswoman out of California by the name of Maxine Waters going out publicly calling for confrontational violence against Republicans who happen to be pro-Trump. I mean, that's what she said. She said that to a group of people. She said, I want y'all motherfuckers to go out and confront Anybody who's pro-Trump, I want you to go out there and harass these people, whether they're at a gas station, whether they're at a restaurant. I want you to harass them until they say, we're not down with Donald Trump no more. We're not down. We just keep harassing them until they say, we're not down with Donald Trump no more. So basically what Maxine Waters is saying is to threaten and potentially inflict violence on those that are pro-Trump until we finally tell them that we're not pro-Trump anymore. Sounds rather totalitarian, don't you think? And remember, these are supposed to be the party. This is supposed to be the party of openness, of civility. Remember, this was the same party that was talking complete trash about Trump's tone during the 2016 presidential campaign. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Oh, I don't like Donald Trump's tone. It's just, oh my God. I mean, this is what they have done. This is what the Democrats have done in this political stunt involving this so-called issue. This so-called issue of child separation. This immigrant child separation nonsense. They have made people believe, and of course, this was with the help of their minions in the mainstream media. They have convinced enough people into believing that they now have the moral high ground. Because all they have to do is invoke, oh, what about the children? My kids, baby! What about my kids? I mean, that's all they've got to invoke, and they've got the moral high ground. And what these Democrats are trying to do with this supposed fake moral high ground utilizing immigrant children is to dehumanize people that are pro-Trump, people that are pro-American, people that are patriotic for this country. That is what they are doing at this point in time. These people are trying to start a civil war. I mean, did you read on USA Today? They're already calling it a soft civil war. They're already calling it a soft civil war. I mean, folks, they've already done it. I mean, we had Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She was asked to leave some Virginia shithole called the Red Hen Restaurant. And by the way, folks, the person who owns the Red Hen Restaurant, according to reports, this lady, is Meryl Streep's cousin. Okay? Yeah, Meryl Streep's cousin. And by the way, because the Red Hen Restaurant asked Miss Huckabee Sanders to leave, does that mean me as a business owner now, I can refuse service to gays and lesbians? Well, maybe not gays. Gays have a lot of money, so I'm not stupid. I'll take their money. I'll make sure to, throw some Lysol over them dollars, and disinfect it, but I'll still take their money. I'll still shake a gay hand, of course, with a rubber glove on it after I commence a sale, but I'm not big. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not big on lesbians. And I know people are like, well, Ghost, dude, what about like two chicks, dude? Yeah, that doesn't happen, moron. All right? Have you seen lesbians lately? It's either it's a fat, disgusting, bull-nosed bull dyke with some feminine chick, or it's two fat, disgusting bull dykes muff diving each other. And they try to look like men, and they try to act like men. I mean, they dress slovenly. They don't wear any makeup. They smell like shit. They got hairy pits. I mean, the whole 9 yards, man. And yet, I'm supposed to take this serious. Like these lesbos that act like men. Have you ever seen these lesbos that try to dress like men? They look like fucking middle school brats. They look like middle school boys, and it's absolutely obnoxious. Look at what was the last fucking transgendered woman, man? Chaz Bono. Chaz fucking Bono, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, I mean, that's my personal, I have that personal prejudice. I don't like lesbians. I can't take them serious. I'm sorry. I mean, the way they present themselves, the way they dress, the way they are, I just can't take them serious. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Now, gays, on the other hand, I want to be honest with you, most gays are working. I mean, every time I've seen some service industry job, they're serving the food, they're at the gift stores, they're at the shops at the mall, they're selling crap, they're selling cars. So, I mean, at least they're out there, they're working for their money, okay? I'm not hating on gays, all right, because I know, they got money. They got money. I mean, I'm a capitalist. But, does this mean now that they discriminated against Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Does that mean that I can just turn away Bull Dykes from my establishments? I just want to know if this is this precedent now. Because if nothing happens to the Red Hen restaurant for asking Sarah Huckabee Sanders to leave, well, then I'm going to kindly ask Bull Dykes to not come into my shops, in my stores. All right? Get out. No Bull Dykes allowed, okay? All right? You look like shit, and it's obnoxious, and I'm not going to take you serious. Like, is this what this means? I mean, does this mean that people don't have to bake gay cakes and, faggot florists and shit like? I mean, we don't have to do this now? I'm just asking a question. Not to mention, let me explain what the owner of the Red Hen said. She said that she herself, as the owner, didn't make the decision on whether or not to kick out Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that it was her staff, that she had a vote amongst her staff, which are mostly LGBTQ, and it was they that didn't want Sarah Huckabee Sanders in there. I mean, isn't that even more of a hate crime? I mean, isn't that discrimination? Isn't that heterosexual Christian discrimination? I mean, couldn't this be taken to court? I mean, if a damn baker can be taken to court because he doesn't want to make a gay cake, how can the Red Hen not be taken to court for the same damn thing? I mean, can somebody explain that to me? It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. On top of that, folks, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen was harassed while sitting with her family at a Mexican restaurant, with people in the restaurant taunting her, saying, "Shame, shame, shame." That's such a faggot thing to say, you dumb protesting idiot. Shame, shame, shame. And on top of that, they followed her to her home. And they were outside her home, harassing her, yelling, screaming. I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, I'm not even kidding, man. I mean, this is getting very serious. I mean, the Florida Attorney General, Pam Bondi, harassed at a showing of a movie of the documentary of Mr. Rogers. Oh, my God. The irony in that, huh? I mean, Mr. Rogers must be flipping over in his fucking grave. Remember? He was just this nice guy. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day. Would you like to be my neighbor? Yeah, nobody wants to be anybody's neighbor anymore, for Christ's sake. It's a damn fucking civil war going on out here in America, and it's disgusting, and it's being instigated by these Democrats, and they have no shame. No shame. And then Maxine Waters comes out and suggests violent confrontations with anybody who happens to be pro-Trump. This is somebody who's sitting in Congress suggesting this. And when she said this, I was looking at all the talking heads in the morning. And the ones on MSNBC were justifying it. I was looking on Fox News, those that they have on the left to comment or to make some kind of commentary on the left of the political persuasion were justifying it. They were justifying Maxine Waters' call for confrontational violence by suggesting that it's Trump's fault. That it was Trump's fault because, remember, back in the day, he said that he would pay the lawyer fees to anybody who beat somebody up in his rallies. You remember that? Huh? Remember that? Oh, my God. I mean, this is how bad we are going down this rabbit hole, folks. And everybody is critical of me because they say that occasionally my rhetoric can be a little violent. Folks, my rhetoric isn't violent. It's preemptive. We know these people don't fucking like us. We know the left, if they had the opportunity, would put us in fucking re-education camps or execute us. I mean, you have to know this. I mean, just take a look at the vehement hatred they are now openly showing. I mean, you even had Wolf Blitzer today shaking his head when you had not only somebody justifying this kind of violence, but suggesting this kind of violence. And Wolf Blitzer's like, yeah. Folks, you have to realize that this fake news media is a weaponized media. And if anybody is still listening to the mainstream media for their news and information, you are the problem. You are the problem. And as far as I'm concerned, folks, if this is what the Democrats want, if the Democrats want to put this into a violent situation, I think that they are going to completely lose. Because who the hell do they really have? A bunch of Antifa soy boys? Huh? Antifa soy boys, Black Lives Matter? Some of these groups that have, some of the Arab terrorist groups, you know that they're going to use the Arab terrorist groups, right, folks? That's why they're so pro-Iran. That's why they're so pro-Jihadi. And who's going to be on our side? We're going to have every armed American on our side. We're going to have the police on our side. We're going to have the military on our side. We're going to have all the ex-vets on our side. I mean, what are these damn Democrats trying to do? What are they thinking? I mean, if you want my personal opinion, folks, I don't want this type of civil war. I don't want this type of violence. But something needs to be done before all-out, widespread mass violence happens in this country. I mean, and I've said this time and time again, some of these people need to start going to jail for the violence that they're advocating. Why isn't Maxine Waters being investigated by the Secret Service? Why isn't this woman at least not necessarily arrested, but detained for about 24 hours of questioning so that she can explain what exactly she's trying to provoke with these types of public statements, man? I mean, what is she trying to do? What are these Democrats trying to do? And that's why I'm saying, folks, since they're trying to call violence upon us, are we justified in a preemptive strike? Remember, that was the Bush doctrine. Remember, that's what George W. Bush said. We need to hit them first before they hit us. The preemptive strike. Remember, George W. Bush said it. I mean, are we justified now that they said, oh, we're going to make sure we harass you until you make sure that you believe in what we believe in? We're going to force you. We're going to harass you. We're going to violently confront you until you believe what we believe in. That's what the left is doing. That's what the Democrats are doing. That's totalitarianism, folks. All these fucking leftists and these liberals are calling Trump some kind of totalitarian. They are practicing totalitarianism, folks. They are the ones that are taking our country into a chaotic direction. And at this point, if you are a Democrat, there is no other explanation. You are anti-American scum. You are anti-American scum if you are Democrats, and that's just based upon what actions the Democrats and those representing the left of the United States political spectrum have done. It's based on their action. And I'm telling you, man, that's what the Democrats want. And why do they want to take down the country? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. These people are paid by China and the European Union and all these globalists, George Soros, etc. I mean, they're being paid to do this. This is an ideological idea in which they are trying to provoke. And folks, those of us that are Americans, we have to not only be politically aware to understand this, but be prepared. And I think James Wood said it best in a tweet here today. He said, everybody who is pro-Trump, everybody who is on the right wing of the American political spectrum, they need to arm themselves and vote. Do you understand that? Arm yourself and vote. And I'm telling you, arm yourself to the teeth. Because these leftists, these people are out of their minds at this point. Because those of us on the right, even though we're ready, even though those of us would be more than willing to start just taking out one by one leftists as they're coming in like as rabid, savage fucking zombies, like some zombie apocalypse, I don't want to do that. Civilized American people don't want to do that. But what's unfortunate, folks, is that because the other side is willing to go all that direction, we have to be prepared for it. We have to potentially preemptively stop it. And I think people need to realize that we're in that time. That we have enemies within our country that don't like us, that don't like what we stand for, that don't like the American Constitution, that don't like American exceptionalism, that hate this country. And everybody right now that is utilizing this immigrant child separation shit as a means to justify the hatred of us on the right, well then I'd like to ask them a question. And this underscores how anti-American the Democrats are. This underscores how anti-American the liberals in America are. Listen! You've got Democrats and liberals trying to get on a moral soapbox because they're exploiting immigrant children in a policy that has been around since Bush Jr. They have somehow used the media, of course the weaponized media, into somehow make-believing that Trump is responsible for this child separation policy. Okay? Meanwhile, you had Obama's Homeland Security. Remember Jay Johnson, Obama's Department of Homeland Security Secretary? Yeah, Jay Johnson. Remember the guy who almost took over the entire election because of, quote, Russia? Well, Obama's Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, admitted on Fox News Sunday, this past Sunday, with Chris Wallace in an interview, that he freely admits that Obama's administration freely detained children. And it was necessary. Do you hear that? He said it. He said it in an interview this fucking Sunday. Where are the Democrats and the leftists at Jay Johnson's house? Why aren't they at Jay Johnson's house? I'm telling you, folks, these goddamn fucking people are anti-American. They care more about immigrant children than they do about American children. They care more about the welfare of children that aren't even a part of this country than they do about the kids of this country. You know, folks, I don't hear any liberal, Democrat, leftist outcry for the 800,000. Let me repeat that one more fucking time. I don't hear any of the Democrats, the left, or the liberals of America bitch about the 800,000 children that go missing in this fucking country every damn year. Yes, 800,000 children go missing in America every fucking year. Where's the Democrat outcry for that? Where's the Democrat moral high ground for that fucking shit? These are American children! American children! 800,000! 800,000 American children go missing every year! Where are you Democrats now? Where are you Democrats for the 800,000 fucking children that go missing every year? You fucking hypocrites! You all are hypocrites, and you hate this country! You all are trying to demoralize us on the right for immigrant children. Where in the hell are you and your moral and ethical soapbox for the 800,000 children that go missing in this country every fucking year? Oh, they're American children, so who gives a crap, right, Democrats? Huh? Where's your fucking moral soapbox for this shit? You make me sick! You Democrats make me sick! You're anti-American scum! You're anti-American scum! If you want a fucking war, we're ready! We're ready to take your fucking asses on! You want a war? You got it! You fucking got it! You want to sit here and try to demoralize those of us on the right for immigrant fucking children? Well, fuck you! Fuck you, Democrats! Fuck you! 800 fucking thousand kids are going missing every fucking year in this goddamn country, and you pieces of shit, you anti-American shit Democrats have the fucking gall? You have the fucking gall to sit here and talk shit to us about some kind of moral authority that you have because of some fucking immigrant children? I'm telling you goddamn Democrats, man, I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. And there are many of us that are fucking ready. If you want to provoke this to this direction, you've got another thing coming. That's why the president tweeted out today that be careful what you wish for, Max. Be careful what you wish for, Max. You piece of shit. You anti-American Democrat scum. You're anti-American scum. So what does that mean? Now that they're threatening, I mean, you got fucking Hollywood people threatening the president's son, threatening Barron Trump. I mean, it makes me sick. I mean, what am I going to have to do? You want me to provoke you? Am I supposed to do something? Huh? What am I supposed to say? Hey, I tell you what. I got good cryptocurrency for anybody that can go up to Peter Fonda, Tom Arnold, John Oliver, and all these pieces of shit that are provoking all this crap. I got good hard currency, cryptocurrency for anybody that kicks the living bejesus out of these pieces of shit. Am I justified to say that? Am I now justified? Am I now justified to say that? These people are threatening my president. These people are threatening his son, his wife. Are you fucking kidding me? They're going up to the Department of Homeland Security Secretary's home. You've got Maxine Waters calling for violent confrontations. Am I justified to say that I've got good hard cryptocurrency for anybody who kicks the shit out of these fucking liberals that are trying to provoke violence? Am I justified to say that? Am I? Am I fucking justified? Am I fucking justified? Shit. It makes me sick, man. It makes me sick. And what? And what? The mainstream media going to take that and say, "Look, there's somebody out here threatening. He said he's going to give cryptocurrency to people that whoop leftists' asses." And he's a bad man. He's a terrorist. He's a bad man. Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking idiots started this. All right. You morons started this shit. You fucking Democrats, how dare you, man? 800,000 kids go missing every goddamn year. And you people are trying to threaten our president and his cabinet and people who follow the president because of immigrant children? Of some policy that Obama's Homeland Security, the Obama's head of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, admitted on Fox News Sunday, this past Sunday with Chris Wallace, that the Obama administration freely detained children, and Jay Johnson says it was necessary. So where the hell are the goddamn protests at Jay Johnson and Barack Obama? Where the hell are they at? Where the hell are they at? Where the hell's the protests? Makes me sick, man. Anyway, look, folks. Arm yourself and vote. That's how serious the 2018 midterm elections are. We cannot afford to have these Democrat lunatics to be in charge of this government. It will throw everything that we've built since 2016 down the shithole. And that's why I'm telling each and every one of you, it is time to arm yourselves and vote. Because by God, I hate to think that the ballot box ain't going to be good enough and that in the end we're going to have to go to the cartridge box. We're going to try to go and do it through the ballot box. But I'm telling you, we're very, very close to going to that cartridge box. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let me move on, folks, and let me go ahead and talk about this corrupt deep state government that's within our Department of Justice and FBI. Devin Nunes, which is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee this morning, gave the Department of Justice and FBI until 5 p.m. today to produce the documents that they are, for whatever reason, not producing that have been subpoenaed by the House Intelligence Committee. Remember, they gave them a deadline on Friday. And at the very last hour, the Department of Justice called them, forwarded them some bullshit documentation that was a big nothing burger. And Devin Nunes wants the 1.1 million documents related to the Hillary Clinton email investigation and the Russia-Trump investigation. Now, unfortunately, folks, the Department of Justice said we've already given all we've given, and that's all we're given. And what's really making this a very constitutional crisis is the fact that the House Intelligence Committee has oversight, has authority over the Department of Justice and the FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice should be obeying these subpoenas for these damn documents. And what Nunes is alluding to, because he wants to show, and Nunes obviously has privy to this information because he has an intelligence clearance and he's briefed on all this as a congressman. But Devin Nunes has alluded to the fact that not only there were FBI agents that were within the 2016 Trump campaign that were apparently trying to entrap the president. But Devin Nunes, he's starting to allude to the fact that there may have been embedded FBI agents in other political races. And this is why the FBI and the Department of Justice refuse to give these documents, because they don't want to show that the FBI and the DOJ may have been politicized way before the Trump 2016 campaign. And this is why we need to keep our eye on the House Intelligence Committee in relation to these documents, because what the Department of Justice and the FBI are doing by not providing the documents subpoenaed by the House Intelligence Committee is causing a constitutional crisis. The House Intelligence Committee has oversight over the Department of Justice and the FBI. The FBI and the Department of Justice are acting like rogue institutions. They're acting like rogue institutions that answer to nobody and are above the law. And folks, I mean, the Department of Justice and the FBI are the highest levels of the judicial branch of our government. And this is what Devin Nunes, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, and let me tell you, this is an American hero, Devin Nunes. An American fucking hero. But he's alluding to the fact that not only was there FBI agents within the 2016 Trump campaign, there may have been embedded FBI agents in other political races. And Nunes alluded to the fact that that's why the Department of Justice and the FBI refused to give these documents. And if that's the case, folks, then what are we doing? What are we doing here? What is justice if the highest levels of the judicial branch are politically weaponized? How is this justice? Moreover, folks, I hate to keep saying this, but are these people, these characters that are involved in this grand conspiracy, are they too big to jail? Are they too big to jail? Because they're high echelon of Department of Justice and FBI, are these people too big to jail? I keep saying this, folks, because I don't think anybody's going to be held accountable. As sad as that sounds, because look at how the Democrats have got half the country bamboozled in an immigrant child separation policy that they're blaming on Trump that has been around since, I mean, even before goddamn George W. Bush. Janet Reno. As a matter of fact, Janet Reno was the one that took this policy all the way to the courts and won. That's why this policy is implemented, for fuck's sake. Anyway, folks, once again, I don't know what's going to happen with this. Us as Americans, we need to keep our eyes glued to the House Intelligence Committee because they're the ones that have been trying to get to the bottom of this, and they refuse to give the documents that'll either show or not show that the Department of Justice and FBI did not have agents in Trump's campaign, did or did not have agents in other political campaigns. And it's starting to sound like they did. It's starting to sound like the FBI and the DOJ have been politically weaponized for a long damn time. A long time. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And you just type it in your browser. It's this simple. It's that simple. Put it in your browser, ghost.report. That's it. You just type that in your browser, ghost.report. That is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. All right, and of course, I'd like for everybody to please follow me on my only social media on the internet, and that's at Gab, folks. All right, gab.ai. Gab.ai. And, by the way, you can follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost, okay? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And by the way, since everybody's being a fucking asshole on Gab, I know there's like 100-something people in my chat room, and yet I can only get 17 people to repost my broadcast or repost or re-gab or like any of my posts, for Christ's sake. So what I'm going to do is I've identified some peeps that always repost, always like, they're always keeping up with the content on there. I'm gonna just randomly ask people in private message who have always been there, reposting, liking the gabs, etc. I'm gonna give you guys some crypto. I'm gonna give you guys some crypto because I mean, you fucking guys that are out there that are just reposting and that are liking the post, and I know who you are, man. You guys keep doing it. You do it because you like the show. You do it because you appreciate the content. You do it because, the fucking information needs to be put right in everybody's face. I've been saying that for a long fucking time, but nobody seems to want to do it. Everybody's like, yeah, Ghost, yeah, we gotta make sure that the fucking information is in everybody's face. I believe you, Ghost. Yay, spaghetti, yay. And nobody fucking does it. So anyway, I know who you are, man, and believe me, I'll get in contact with you, and I'll ask you for your goddamn crypto address, and I'll hook you up with some crypto, man, because let me tell you, thank you guys, okay? Thank you guys for constantly reposting, constantly liking. Thank you guys. I fucking appreciate it, man. Every other one of you motherfuckers, go fuck yourself, okay? Seriously, it's just a fucking click, and you guys are being a bunch of faggots about it. So, hey, you know what? Everybody who did it, I know who you are. I got your names. I got it. I'll be private messaging you guys soon enough and letting you guys know. Anyway, let me move on, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying, I mean, it's serious business, man. We're in a day and age where information is everything, and you guys are just like, yeah, okay, I'll do it, Ghost. I'll repost. You don't repost shit! I do 3 fucking hours on this broadcast, and I don't take a break! You don't hear me saying, hey, and we'll be right back right after this. I mean, no! 3 fucking hours, and by the way, I don't get paid for this fucking goddamn broadcast. Listen, I appreciate everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I love these guys. As a matter of fact, these are great groups of people in here. But, I know that these guys pay $5 a month to be in here, and we got about a little under 100 people. Like I got a little over 100 people. Gab takes their cut because I do the transaction through Gab. So they take $1 right off the back. So I get $4. Okay? $4. So I basically make $400 a month now on this broadcast. When I was at Blog Talk Radio, I was making on average $4,000 a month. Okay? So that's why, folks, I've changed the format from, being entertainment for tards, which at one point paid a little money, to, now that I'm not making any of it, I'm going to do the broadcast how I want to do it. And we're in fucking serious times. We're in serious fucking times, for Christ's sake. And, everybody's like, yeah, Ghost, I'll do it. Yeah, okay, I understand the information. Yeah, yeah. And nobody's fucking regabbing. Nobody's liking. Nothing. So, once again, all you guys that have been doing it without me even having to fucking suggest it, thank you guys. You guys are true capitalists. You guys care about this country. You guys care about Trump. You guys care about capitalism. All you other fucking guys, fuck you, all right? All you people that refuse for whatever reason to repost and like the fucking gabs, fuck you. You're a fucking lazy faggot, all right? I'm sitting here giving you 3 fucking hours of my time, giving you the straight political dope, giving you free economic and business information, and you fucking people can't even fucking like and post a fucking gab post? Go fuck yourselves. Seriously. Y'all are like a bunch of fucking leftists, for Christ's sake, man. I'm not even asking you fucking people for anything. Just a fucking click. Just a fucking click. And you want to know why? Listen, if you don't like me or whatever, even if you just take the fucking information that I post and post it on your shit or post it on another social media, for Christ's sake. I don't care about the fucking credit. It's about the information, you dicks. Shit, man. Anyway, I know who you are, folks. Believe me, I've been watching. I know who guys always that regab, that repost, that like. I know who you guys are, so don't worry about it. I know everybody and their brother now all of a sudden is starting to like and repost, but go fuck you, all right? Anyway, once again, the deadline for the DOJ and the FBI to hand over the documents relating to Hillary Clinton's email investigation and Russia Trump to the House Intelligence Committee ended at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. All right. Now, once again, the House Intelligence Committee, chaired by Devin Nunes, wants to know about FBI agents embedded inside the 2016 Trump campaign. And what also Devin Nunes alluded to was the fact that this goddamn agent from the FBI that was embedded within the Trump campaign, this FBI agent was embedded way before the actual Russia-Trump investigation in July of 2016. And like I was saying, it's as if Devin Nunes was alluding to the fact that FBI agents were in some way trying to entrap Trump because they were there embedded within the goddamn campaign prior to the July 2016 official investigation into Russia-Trump activity. So this puts this whole goddamn Robert Mueller situation, it should put it into extinction. I mean, I don't understand why Robert Mueller still has any kind of authority at this point, considering that, 3 out of the 5 anti-Trump FBI agents in the Inspector General report that was released last week, 3 out of the 5 anti-Trump FBI agents were on Robert Mueller, or still are on Robert Mueller's special counsel. So why is Robert Mueller still able to have all this authority when he himself should be investigated? I completely agree with Giuliani on this one. I completely agree with Giuliani. Giuliani said that we need to investigate Robert Mueller because it's obvious that Robert Mueller had some kind of a vendetta just based on the fact on who he chose in his special counsel. I mean, lest we forget, Peter Strzok, the big-time hardcore FBI agent, the head of counterintelligence at the FBI, lest we forget. That's right. Peter Strzok was head of counterintelligence at the FBI. You know Peter Strzok, the lovebirds, the text messages with that horse-face FBI lawyer, Lisa Page. Peter Strzok, not only was he on Robert Mueller's counsel, not only was he the head of counterintelligence, folks, he was in charge of both the Hillary Clinton email investigation and the Russia-Trump investigation. Peter Strzok, he was in charge of both of them. Even when he was texting anti-Trump, viva la resistance type of fucking rhetoric on these text messages with Lisa Page. Now, folks, Peter Strzok, believe it or not, has been subpoenaed by the House Judiciary Committee, and he's supposed to be testifying in front of the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday. Now, the unfortunate part about Peter Strzok and this testimony that's going to happen this Wednesday in the House Judiciary Committee, it's going to be in a private session. Oh, come on. Oh, come on! According to the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlate, he claims that he wants to, and the people within the House Judiciary Committee want to question Strzok privately because they want to ask him about classified information that he is related to and have questions answered related to those classified pieces of information related to Strzok himself. Now, according to Bob Goodlate, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, he says that there will be eventually a public hearing with Peter Strzok. But the one on Wednesday that's going to happen is not going to be public. It is going to be behind closed doors. And I wonder if Peter Strzok, I wonder how he's going to present himself. Because it's almost as if at this point in time that the FBI are trying to indirectly use this moron as the fall guy. Now, it's not to say that he wasn't involved in the conspiracy. It's that they're probably trying to look to Peter Strzok to take the major fall. And if Peter Strzok is smart, under that testimony in closed session, he'll be diming people out in his own FBI and DOJ conspiracy, just so that he can prevent himself from going to jail.
Now, lest we forget, the deputy the deputy head of the FBI, was it McCabe? Andrew McCabe. There's so many characters, man, in this fucking conspiracy. Andrew McCabe has already asked for immunity in exchange for testimony. But, he doesn't want to give what he has, and because he doesn't want to give what he has, the people that would be able to have the authority to grant him immunity don't want to grant him immunity. So these guys are very scared that they may or may not have to go to jail. So we shall see. That's why I keep telling everybody that's listening to this broadcast, man, pay attention to the House Intelligence Committee when it comes to Devin Nunes and his subpoena of these documents for the DOJ and the FBI, and keep on the lookout this Wednesday on what the people that are sitting on the House Judiciary Committee say after the interrogation of Peter Strzok on Wednesday. Because apparently they're going to ask him questions that are going to give the Judiciary Committee a better insight on what exactly is going on at the FBI. All right. Anyway, let's continue going, folks. And once again, I do want to underscore that this should end the Robert Mueller investigation, and that Robert Mueller himself should be investigated. He should be investigated. I'm not even kidding around. I mean, this guy has used over 20 million American taxpaying dollars for this witch hunt. And what has he got? He's got a Paul Manafort. He's got a charge on Paul Manafort that stems back 12 years ago, for fuck's sake. What a piece of crap. And by the way, I want to be honest with you. If Paul Manafort's going down for this, how come he's not going after John Podesta and his brother, which did business in the Ukraine at the same time with Paul Manafort? I mean, actually, he helped Paul Manafort in the Ukrainian political situation. How come Podesta isn't being investigated by Robert Mueller or his brother? They didn't put down that they were foreign agents. I doubt that they took all the money that they were paid in consultant fees in the Ukraine and brought it in the United States and paid full taxes on it. But of course, we all know there is two separate justices now, isn't there? If you're a Democrat, you can get away with anything. You can get away with giving classified information on a public server in a bathroom. You can go and have ambassadors killed in Benghazi. You can get away with potential murder with Seth Rich. You can do anything as a Democrat, and you're going to get off scot-free. You're going to have a lackadaisical approach to the investigation by the FBI and an eventual exoneration by the FBI. But if you're on the right, look at Paul Manafort. If you're on the right wing of the political persuasion, they're going to try to send Manafort for life for this stupid charge. For life! I mean, folks, there are child molesters that only get 5 years in prison. And here you've got Robert Mueller trying to send Paul Manafort to jail for life because he didn't register as a foreign agent, meaning that he was representing foreign governments on a governmental level while in the United States, which the Podesta brothers have done and a bunch of other people have done that haven't been charged and thrown into a legal mess as Manafort. And at the same time, supposedly Manafort didn't pay some taxes on some money that he made in the Ukraine over 12 years ago. You know, not even the IRS would go back that far. You know that? The IRS goes back 10 years, that's it. If you ever go into an audit for the IRS, they'll go back 10 years, and that's it. They're not going to go back 12, 15, 20 years. Give me a fucking break. And that's what Robert Mueller's doing to Paul Manafort, man. I think it is a terrible tragedy of justice. A terrible it is complete retribution is what it is. Because like I said, lest we forget, folks, it was the time when Trump brought in Paul Manafort is when Trump won the delegates so that he could become the nominee for the GOP for president. Remember that?
And I've said this time and time again. Remember, Manafort's been playing this political consultant game for like 40 years. 40 years! You don't think this guy knows where the bodies are buried? You don't think that, his political gamery... remember, him and Roger Stone are business partners, man. And Roger Stone, his terminology, I love his saying, hey, politics ain't beanbag. And, I personally believe that Manafort kind of forced the hand of the GOP and forced them to nominate Donald Trump. And that's what Manafort did. And I think that he's being paid back by the deep state because of it. I genuinely believe that's why Manafort's being harassed legally in this capacity. And I hope that Donald Trump pardons him, man. Because he or Michael Flynn or any of these people that got wrapped up in Mueller's bullshit witch hunt don't deserve the type of crap that has been inflicted upon them, man. It is not right. It is not right. Anyway, let's go to some international news, folks. Now, I don't know if you watched the Turkish elections over the weekend, but womp womp. Erdogan is the president until 2025 now. That is correct. It is Erdogan's Turkey. Now, I want to be honest with you. He obviously didn't run a fair election. Remember he was media blackout any of his political opponents. He was trying to harass people on the election day, had some of his soldiers harass people at the polls, etc. All your quintessential political rigging games. But he won, and what does this mean? What does this mean exactly? Well, it means that, folks, we're going to be hearing a lot about Erdogan because I think this is how he's going to react. This basically gives him full-fledged authority to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He is a complete totalitarian ruler, and it took these snap elections to legitimately justify his totalitarian rule. Now, as I stated back in July of 2016, when he threw the fake coup on himself, what did I say was his ambition? Erdogan's ambition is to be the new head of the Islamic world. And he's been trying to do it. I mean, he's been trying to provoke the Islamic world. He's been saying things like, we need to go against Israel. We need to unite the Muslims against Israel because of Palestine and all this shit. All right? And moreover, I don't know if you've seen, he did exactly what I suggested he was going to do right after the coup. He went right into certain parts of northern Iraq, right into northern Syria, and now he's pushing further and further into Syria. Now, I don't know what the hell is happening in Syria, folks. You've got Russia supposedly there to keep the peace, whatever the fuck that means, basically to protect Assad. The Russians are protecting Bashar al-Assad. Same with the Iranian forces that are embedded within Syria. But then you've got Turkey coming in and Erdogan saying that Assad needs to go, that he needs to be overthrown. Yet Turkey is a somewhat ally of Russia at this point, lest we forget. Last November in Sochi, they signed a military arms agreement. I mean, so that's pretty ally, if I don't say so myself. And Iran as well. I don't know how the Turkish and Iran get together, but I mean, there's a really big clusterfuck happening in Syria. And I personally believe that Erdogan is going to try to incrementally get more and more land that was once occupied by the Turkish Ottoman Empire. And that's exactly what his next conquest is going to be. Now that he has this power solidified within his government, he is going to utilize the full authority that he has under his presidential powers to expand the old Ottoman Empire and to grab as much geopolitical area that once was under the control of that Ottoman Empire. He's even invoked the name, the Ottoman Empire, in several speeches. So he is going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side in the Middle Eastern theater of combat. Because as I've suggested, what the current Middle Eastern policy for the Trump administration is, and I said this during those fake Syrian strikes, those cosmetic Syrian strikes that Trump did back in early 2016, I said this was the policy, and as chain of events unrolled, it's starting to look like the policy because it is. The new policy is to pit Saudi Arabia against Iran so that you cause this war amongst the two variants of Islam, and then the military theater becomes the Middle East itself. And all these Yehudis, all these jihadis that are all over the world hating the West and hating Western civilization and taking trucks and running people over in France and shit, these people are going to go from there back to the Middle East so that they can fight jihad. That's what they did back in Afghanistan when they comprised the Mujahideen against the Russians, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Now, there's another question. Why? Why do we need Saudi Arabia and Iran pitted against each other at war? Because, first of all, we need to, for a lack of a better term, we've got to thin the herd of Muslims in this world today. There are over 1.2 billion Muslims in the world, and you've got to somehow thin the herd of these folk so that they become less of a danger to world civilization. Because these people are starting to become a danger to world civilization. I mean, let's not beat around the bush about it. And because they'll be in the theater of combat in the Middle East fighting each other, not only will they'll be thinning the herd, but there'll be less terrorism in Western civilizations. And moreover, they'll be doing so much fighting amongst one another that at some point either one side's going to kill the other side off, or they're both going to do so much fighting that they're going to be like, wait a minute, why are we doing this? Why are we killing each other? Why are we doing this? Because, folks, it doesn't seem like Islam is going to learn anything, and it only learns by accident, and it's got to learn by example. And I think, unfortunately, this has to be the foreign policy, and it's starting to go that direction. I mean, take a look at all the foreign policy actions by the United States. Take a look at Israel taking pop shots at Iran. I mean, we want Iran to fall, all right? Because the Iranian people want them to fall. But then you got Erdogan, right? Erdogan, he's much like, you know who I can compare Erdogan to right now? To Mao Zedong, when he was just a communist rogue bunch of peasants in the 10,000-mile march, and he began flanking the Japanese and Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist Chinese forces. Because lest we forget, the whole reason why Japan bombed Pearl Harbor was to invade China, because America at the time had an open-door policy with China, and we would send our fleet that was at Pearl Harbor to defend China if in an invasion. So it was a calculated decision that the Japanese go to Pearl Harbor, deplete our naval fleet, and then go right into China and invade it. And once Japan invaded China, and Chiang Kai-shek, who was in charge of China at the time, and the Chinese nationalists, when they engaged the Japanese, the Mao Zedong communist forces would flank these sons of bitches while they were fighting each other. And it was that strategy that basically won Mao Zedong the whole country of China. So now that Erdogan is this kind of Mao Zedong-like character in the middle of this Middle Eastern policy, I think it becomes a big thorn in the side of trying to bring a war between Saudi Arabia and Iran. And we shall see what the hell Erdogan is going to do. I think he's capable of doing anything. I think that we'll wake up one day and see that Erdogan just went into a province, took it over, went into another province, took it over, and all these little areas that he's going to take over, once we're a part of the Ottoman Empire. It's what he wants. He wants to be the leader of Muslims. He wants to be like the Osama bin Laden of the Muslim world. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Anyway, speaking of Iran, folks, did you hear? Massive protests in Iran, baby. Yes! I told you all back in 2009. Do y'all remember this? Back during the 2009 Iranian Revolution, which I aided, by the way. I don't want to go through the whole story, but I used to belong to this one Pal Talk voice chat community back in the early 2000s. And back then, I don't know what it was, but Iranians were all over that voice chat community. And, you know, there were some smart Iranians, man. They knew how to speak English. You know, they knew foreign relations. They knew how to talk. We communicated very nicely. And they used Pal Talk to organize their protest in the revolution of 2009. And I aided in many... I don't want to discuss what I did, but I aided in some capacities. And as a result, they anticipated, this was their anticipation, that they were going to all massively protest. And once Iran started killing them, they figured, just like the kids at Tiananmen Square in China in 1989, they figured that once there was so many of them dead, that the international community would come in and stop the violence. Like some UN or some forces, you know, comprised of Western forces, were going to come in and stop the violence. And you know what? They were, unfortunately, very, very wrong. And that's why, if you go back to the archives during those days, and those archives are still up, folks, you can go back to the old school archives at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. They're still there. In 2009, I was calling for anybody to aid the revolution in Iran. Anybody to, even in a clandestine situation, aid the uprising in Iran. But it fell on deaf ears, folks. And all the Iranian authority had to do was not only kill the people that were protesting, but they went after their families and executed their families as well. And that quashed that uprising up until now. The 2018 uprising of Iran. And folks, these people, they're uprising in not just like bullshit provinces in Iran. Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. I mean, there was so much protesting, folks, that they shut down Tehran's Grand Bazaar, which is their big marketplace where everybody kind of, you know, conducts business and trades and sells product and stuff. Their Grand Bazaar was closed because there were so many damn protests against the government, against the Ayatollah. They are tired. I've been saying this since 2009, man. The Iranian people want to have nothing to do with this ridiculous theocracy that's being ran by this old prostate-infected bastard, the Ayatollah. I mean, why do you think they call the Ayatollah the supreme leader? Because he has the last say-so in anything his little government, which is nothing more than a puppet government of his anyway, than the government says. I'm telling you, man, these people do not want to be a part of this. They do not want to be a part of any of this fundamentalist, jihadist, Islamic crap. They don't want it. As a matter of fact, most Iranians want westernization. They love Western civilization. They love Western fashion. They love pop culture of America. That's what they want to be. That's why they're protesting. That's why they're uprising right now, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. What did I tell Iran? Was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? I said, Iran, let me tell you something. You better deal with Donald Trump. And you better tell us what you know and what you have over the Obama administration and these Euro cucks. And tell us why they paid you off. Why did they pay you $250 billion for supposedly halting your nuclear ambitions? What were you actually being really paid off to do? And I warned Iran that if you don't make a deal with Donald Trump, if you don't capitulate, if you don't send representatives and bow to Donald Trump,
your little fucking Iranian revolution that rose in the late 70s is going to be another blip in the history of time. Because I'm telling you, you all are, you're on borrowed time right now. The government of Iran is on borrowed fucking time because their people don't want them. Israel's ready to take pop shots at them. I mean, you've got Saudi Arabia ready to take pop shots at them. United States ready. Everybody's ready. It's up to Iran, man. And as a matter of fact, folks, the Iranian protesters, did you hear what they were, or did you read, I should say, did you read what they were shouting in protest? Death to Palestine. I'm not joking! That's what the Iranian protesters in Iran were screaming during these protests today. Death to Palestine! Death to Palestine! Are you kidding? You want to know why, folks? Because they don't want to live like Palestine, man. I mean, the Iranians are smart people. They realize that the Palestinians, for whatever reason, want to continue to play this perpetual death reel. They want to continue to portray themselves as being murdered and slaughtered, and when they're the ones provoking, man. I mean, look at the border. You know, I find it funny that you've got these Democrats here pissing and moaning, getting on moral high grounds because of immigrant child separation, even though, once again, there's 800,000 children that go missing every year. I find it funny that no one's talking about Israel's border policy. You know what Israel's doing? They're just fucking shooting these people indiscriminately as they, like, massively try to run and kind of ambush the border. And what Hamas is doing and what the Palestinians are purposely doing, they're putting women and children at the front of this massive charge at the border so that they can be the first one shot and killed, so they can put a camera there and say, you see, look at what Israel did. They killed children, they killed the women, they killed everybody, they're monsters, all this shit. And you know what? People have finally gotten tired of it, man. I mean, you people have cried wolf too long, Palestine. I mean, why is it that the men of Palestine, for whatever reason, just can't be like, all right, look, we're occupied, whatever. Why don't we clean up our act? Why don't we use all the muscle we have in the men population of this country and rebuild this country? Whatever resources we have, let's pull it together and let's rebuild this country. Let's show the world that we really are occupied and that we're civilized people, that we're not violent people, that we're peaceful people. No, they have not done that. They've been doing this same game for over 40 years. This same game of throwing women and children at the front, making sure they're sacrificed first, putting their dead bodies on the camera and saying, oh, look at what Israel did, look at Israel. And people have gotten tired of it. I mean, hence the Iranian protesters in Iran protesting the Ayatollah saying death to Palestine. Why would they be saying death to Palestine, folks? Because they know that the entire Arab world utilizes Palestine as some sort of moral soapbox. And it's about time that we stop doing this, because that's all they are. They're not trying to better themselves. As a matter of fact, I hate to keep reiterating this, but I remember in 1997 in Camp David when Bill Clinton tried to get Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat. Ehud Barak was the prime minister of Israel at the time, and Yasser Arafat was the leader of Palestine. He got them both in Camp David, and Ehud Barak was willing to go back to pre-1967 borders. And Yasser Arafat said no. And you will never get a deal that generous from the Jews again. Ever. Ever. And that just proves to you that for whatever reason, Palestine doesn't want peace. They like this perpetual war. They like being like this Munchausen by proxy country. They like it. They like doing this. I don't get it.
I mean, even as recent as this week, Jared Kushner, the president's advisor, he was out there trying to talk to the Palestinian Authority, and even he's saying that he's not really sure if the Palestinian leaders even want peace. He's not even sure what the Palestinians want, period. And this is what's really the cause of all this ruckus in the Middle East. I'm just saying. Anyway, once again, massive protests in Iran. Protests shut down the Grand Bazaar in Tehran. And Iranian protesters shouting death to Palestine. I mean, like I said, if Israel wanted to, they could go and invade Iran right now. They could invade Iran. And look, Iran wouldn't be able to protect itself. Iran's power is in these satellite terrorist groups that they fund, like Hezbollah in Lebanon, like the Houthis in Yemen, like the folks that they're out there helping in Syria, etc. That's where their power is. I mean, they have no power to protect their borders and their country. They're too busy trying to suppress their own people to be able to fight off any invading force. I think they're ripe for invasion, Iran. I think they're ripe for invasion. Now, whether or not Israel's going to do it or not, I mean, who knows? But let me tell you, Iran is not as strong as they claim they are. And just take a look at their domestic home front and how their people don't want to live under their authority anymore. That should show you everything. That should show you every goddamn thing. Anyway, let me move on to the next subject. North Korea. Let's go back to North Korea because these fucking mainstream media ass clowns continue to undermine what the president has done in this North Korean summit. He has done what no president has done in 70 years, and I think that Kim Jong-un is committed. I mean, as I stated, man, I mean, President Trump didn't capitulate to anything. I mean, all he did was meet with Kim Jong-un, and that's it. He just met with him. He got hostages back. And I'm not talking about the hostages that came back alive. He got 250 remains of people. 250 people's remains, American soldiers that were there in Korea. Getting their remains back, bringing them back home. We never forget. We're bringing them back home. On top of that, folks, you've got Kim Jong-un signing a commitment for denuclearization. On top of that, folks, today it is reported that all the anti-U.S. souvenirs, all the posters that are anti-American are disappearing in North Korea in the wake of the Trump-Kim summit. I mean, winning! Come on, man! I mean, I'm telling you, I genuinely believe now that we're going to see peace in North Korea and South Korea. I mean, but is the mainstream media focusing on this, folks? No. They're downplaying it. They're actually trying to sour it. They're trying to ruin it. And that's just proof, once again, that this mainstream media and the Democrats are anti-American. I mean, if it benefits America and makes America safe, why not embrace it and say, well, you know what? I hate Trump, but I'm glad he did this, and I'm glad that we're no longer under nuclear threats. Remember, everybody thought, oh, Trump's going to start a nuclear war. I mean, he's tweeting my big button. He was posturing. Do you understand? He understands how Asians think. They're big on honor. They're big on respect. He gets it. I mean, how come all you people that were crying about a potential nuclear war happening with Trump's diplomacy with Kim, where are you at now? Now that there is no more threat of nuclear war, where are you all now? Where are you all now? You just hate this president and you hate this country. Just admit it, Democrats. Just admit it, mainstream media. You hate this country. Just fucking admit it. Once again, folks, North Korea's anti-United States souvenirs, anti-American posters are disappearing in North Korea in wake of the Trump-Kim summit, baby. I mean, come on, man. I mean, do you understand? The Democrats always prided themselves on being the diplomatic party. Oh, we talk before we go to war. And here you have Trump going above and beyond diplomacy. Above and beyond diplomacy. And you know what's really sad about all this as well, folks? That Kim Jong-un has given Donald Trump more respect than our so-called allies who have been sitting here trying to be obstinate against our new policy of Make America Great Again. They won't even go to the negotiating table, once again, to renegotiate trade deals. Our allies! The EU, Canada, Mexico, these are our allies, right? Give me a fucking break. And the thing about negotiating the trade deals, we don't even want an even keel trade deal. I mean, we're just asking, look, let's cut some off the top, baby, all right? I mean, hey, China, instead of us sending you $600 billion on an annual trade deficit basis, how about we just send you about $350, $400 billion? No. Hey, Canada, why don't you do something? Why don't you cut down that 250% tariff that you have on the United States milk? Why don't you cut down these tariffs that you have on United States goods? No, we're going to keep taking advantage of you and then keep talking garbage about you, every time we can, because that's what Canada does, Hey, Mexico, why don't, the $100 billion that we send you on a trade deficit basis on an annual basis, either cut that down or let's make a deal to where we can offset what we're taking away from China, give it to you so you can manufacture our goods, and it'll be cheaper shipping costs because you're right across the effing border. But, of course, you're not hearing that from Mexico. They're like, no, we're not going to build your fucking wall, man. We're not going to build your wall, ese. Yeah, these are our allies, right? Our fucking allies. How sad. How goddamn sad. I mean, like I said, North Korea's Kim Jong-un's given more respect to Donald Trump than our allies and some of these asshole American people out here. It's just fucking sad. It's just fucking sad. Anyway, let me get to the last subject matter of the broadcast, folks, okay? Are corporations forcing the UK to abandon Brexit? Have you heard about this, folks? Now, I want to be honest with you. I'm not very keen on Theresa May's fucking soft Brexit and her kicking the can down the road approach for 2 years to propose a soft Brexit. Her cowering to the goddamn EU. But it's taken up to this point to come up with some, quote, soft Brexit. And it looks as though that the corporations that are based in the UK don't like it. They don't like it. Airbus, which makes and manufactures airplanes, and BMW and other companies are threatening to leave the UK if Prime Minister May's Brexit deal is passed. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Now you've got corporations in the UK dictating policy. And this is getting dangerous, folks, because corporations should not be dictating policy in this regard. I mean, we're starting to see it in the United States. In the United States, you've got banks that'll now freeze your account if you attempt to purchase a gun through any of their instruments, whether it's a debit card, whether it's a check. I'm not kidding. You've got financial institutions in this country who will freeze your bank account if you purchase a gun. When did corporations all of a sudden become moral authorities? I mean, this is getting sick, folks, and this is sad, and everybody in the UK should be pissed off right now. Now, aside from the fact that Theresa May's soft Brexit sucks, you should be pissed off that you've got Airbus and BMW and other corporations threatening to leave the country because of this Brexit situation. And I think it's shitty. I think that how dare you corporations attempt to use your economic leverage as a means to dictating policy for the country. I mean, lest we forget, Brexit was a people's vote, right? That just goes to show you how Britain honors the people's vote. I mean, you don't really have much of a vote in anything, man. I feel bad for the people in Britannia because it's obvious that even though they voted to get the hell out of the EU, they're not going to do it. It's never going to happen. You've got so many entities that are trying to stop this. It's not just the corporations. Airbus, BMW, and other corporations threatening to leave the UK if May's Brexit is passed. You've also got institutions like the Health and Human Services bureaucracy in the UK. They're threatening to either go on strike or shut down if certain components of Brexit are implemented. I mean, do you understand? You've got entities within the government, corporations, working in collusion to dictate the policy of the UK. I mean, does anyone else find this dangerous? I mean, this is unbelievably dangerous here, folks, and we should not be accepting this one bit, especially you people in the UK. Especially you people in the UK. You should be up in arms. Where's all the leftists, by the way? Where's all the Jeremy Corbyn assholes that should be up in arms saying, hey, wait a minute, corporations. How dare you, Airbus and BMW, threaten our jobs, threaten our economy because of Brexit? How dare you? You don't care about the worker. You don't care. You don't hear that, do you? You don't hear them. You don't hear them at all. You don't hear Jeremy Corbyn. You don't hear the Labour Party. You don't hear Dick. And I feel bad for Britannia because I think that's about it. I think Britannia's over. It's over, and we're not going to see anything come of this Brexit situation. I think that Brexit is nothing more than a nothing burger at this point. There's not even a reason to dream it, think it anymore. I'm telling you, there's not even a reason. I'm sorry for you guys in Britannia. I am sorry, but come on, man. Give me a break. All right, we got about 10 minutes left here. I'm done with my agenda. Let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about some headlines from Drudge. For you folks that don't know, go to drudgereport.com right now. I'm going to be reading off the headlines. If you don't know drudgereport.com, it's a very good news aggregation site in which you can kind of... I like Drudge, man. He links to a lot of pretty good articles. He does get a little kookster at times, and you can definitely tell his gay agenda because he is gay. I have nothing wrong with gay people, but, you can tell he's trying to push that agenda with some of these headlines. But either way, it's a pretty good, well-rounded approach of looking at big headlines that have come across the news wires. So I appreciate it. I hope you do, too. Let's go to drudge.report. Let's read some headlines. Above in the top left-hand corner, we have, of course, a picture of Maxine Waters. Headlines, ready to rumble. Maxine calls in the mob. Trump aides urge to get guns. Staffers, allies watch their backs. LA Time page on Tuesday. Resist too far? ? Even low-level officials bullied. Media's anti-Trump rhetoric increasingly violent. Homeland Security employees warned of threats. Burned animal carcasses left on porch. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Oh my God! Oh my God, man! I can't believe this crap. Who? Where did they leave burned animals at? Here, let's see this. Let's see this here. Increasing threats to Homeland Security include burned animal carcasses left on staffer's porch. This is out of ABC Radio. Department of Homeland Security employees are seeing violent threats with greater frequency because of the president's immigration policy, according to an official with knowledge of a recent threat assessment. The department determined that there was a heightened threat against DHS employees in response to recent government action surrounding immigration, according to a letter sent to employees over the weekend. Once again, folks, These people are willing to commit violence because of some immigrant children, and yet we have 800,000 children that go missing every year. And where are their protests? Huh? Where are their protests? Give me a fucking break. They're leaving dead animals on DHS members' doorsteps, for Christ's sake. Hey, man, why aren't we here? Why isn't there a group of right-wing radicals out here that aren't harassing these people? I'm not kidding, man. Why are we doing the same garbage? I mean, where are the Charles Bronsons of the right? I'm not even kidding around, man. Where are the Charlie Bronsons out here of the right wing? Because I guarantee you, okay, once, some of these morons that are advocating violence, okay, once one of these leftists that are advocating violence ends up in a puddle of his own blood and piss, all of a sudden people are going to stop advocating violence. Do you understand? I mean, these leftists, they like to talk. But once they're, bludgeoned and, one of them ends up in a puddle of their own blood and piss, all of a sudden it's like, no, look, they're being violent towards us, even though we're the ones instigating civil unrest, even though we're instigating the Civil War. Man, where are our right-wing Charlie Bronsons? Please, man. Please, anybody. You'd be considered heroes. You'd be considered heroes. That's all I'm saying, man. Anyway, let me move on, all right? Let's go to the next. This is the headline on Drudge. NSA, National Security Agency skyscrapers across the USA revealed? What the hell is this? This is The Intercept. As a matter of fact, The Intercept, I don't know where they get some of their stories, man. They get some pretty good stories, to say the least. All right, here it is. The NSA's hidden spy hubs in 8 cities. This is written by Ryan Gallagher and Henrik Moltke. The secrets are hidden behind fortified walls in cities across the United States, inside towering, windowless skyscrapers and fortresses like concrete structures that were built to withstand earthquakes and even nuclear attacks. Thousands of people pass by the buildings each day and rarely give them a second glance because their function is not publicly known. They're an integral part of one of the world's largest telecommunication networks, and they are also linked to the controversial National Security Agency program. In Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., in each of these cities, the publication Intercept has identified an AT&T facility containing networking equipment that transports large quantities of internet traffic across the United States and the world. A body of evidence, including classified NSA documents, public records, and interviews with several former AT&T employees, indicate that the buildings are central to an NSA spying initiative that has for years monitored billions of emails, phone calls, and online chats passed across U.S. territory. Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that great? I mean, here we are. I mean, we've got terrorism all over the United States coming at us, and yet United States citizens are the biggest suspects. I hope that they have these freaked out leftists. I hope they have them on a list somewhere, because, I mean, how they're able to threaten the president, threaten the president's wife, threaten the president's son, and nothing happened to these people, I just think is a tragedy. I think it's a damn tragedy, and it's a damn shame. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? Look, I'm gonna go ahead and skip around here. I got about 2 minutes. Let me look for the best. Oh, yeah, here it is. Out of the New Yorker, Barack Obama. Where are you? Where are you, Barack Obama? The most popular American president, whose legacy is the primary target of Donald Trump, has, for now, virtually disappeared from public life. That's because he's too busy. Did you see that one photo purported to be Barack Obama? He's dressed in like some kind of a demon drag queen outfit. Have you seen this? I'm not joking. This has been going around the internet, He's got like some kind of mask with some kind of. He looks like a drag queen with the devil horns on, and I mean, I'm not even kidding around. That's what he's doing. He's probably out there pause-holing. Are you kidding me? I mean, you don't see him and Michelle Obama together no more. All right. I mean, it looks like he already broke up with that tranny. You know, he doesn't want to be in public life anymore. Are you kidding me? He already committed all his psychopathic Manchurian candidate activity. All right, he wants to go back. He wants to start pause-holing. He wants to go back to the down low brother stuff that he was practicing in Jeremiah Wright's church. Oh, y'all don't know about that? Well, there were 3 black men that used to belong to the infamous Jeremiah Wright's church. That was the church that was patronized by Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Well, there were 3 openly gay black men that attended the church, and it was alleged that those 3 black men would service, Barack Obama, Jeremiah Wright, etc. And right before Barack Obama was going to announce his presidency, these 3 black gay brothers ended up dead. I'm not joking. You can look all this up for yourself. That's why I tell you these stories, so that you can look them up. If you don't believe me, you're like, Ghost, you're lying. Shut up. Look it up for yourself. All right, there were 3 black brothers that were gay that used to patronize the church of Jeremiah Wright during the tenure of Barack Obama's worship. And they would service Jeremiah Wright, Obama, down low brother stuff. Okay, down low brother stuff. And these 3 gay men ended up dead right before Barack Obama announced his presidency. I'm going to be honest, folks. I mean, it's been so rumored that Barack Obama is a homosexual. I mean, aside from the Larry Sinclair allegations, and there was a woman that was interviewed, many years back, claiming that she knew Hawaii, Barry Obama, as a homosexual, and she knew him as a homosexual that used to patronize and try to have sexual relations with older men. And that's how she knew him. As a matter of fact, going into the 2008 campaign, there was an allegation that he was HIV positive. I'm not joking. These are all allegations that were alleged against him that he never answered. And, I don't know if he's HIV positive or not, but he did have sunken-in cheeks. He did look a little posy to me. You take a look at what pos holes look like. They don't really have full faces. They got their skin hanging down from their bones a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They look like pos holey. This was alleged on Barack Obama that he was a pos hole. And not to mention, folks, his tranny wife. I mean, come on, man. You all have to know that those 2 children, those 2 girls, are not his. All right? They're not his. And like I have said to each and every one of you, I challenge you. Find me a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant. No? You're not going to be able to find it. I mean, 2 girls, you would think that, Michelle Obama, she'd be out and about, and, she'd be working, and they take a picture of her pregnant or something. No pictures pregnant. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast here. I know we were going over some Drudge Report headlines, but, I mean, you want to know the New Yorker's asking, where's Barack Obama? Well, he's probably pausing some neg holes. I mean, we all remember in the DNC email leaks? Remember? Oh, we got to get those, 4,500 hot dogs to the party. And we got to, put those hot dogs on a private jet and make sure those hot dogs come onto the party. Remember that? Y'all remember that, right? I'm just saying, folks, that, we talked about it last episode about how the Democrats are evil and how Barack Obama, during his acceptance speech when he was elected president, that he literally just said satanic garbage, that if you reverse it, if you reverse speech, he's saying something completely different. And this is something that is practiced in Satanism. Satanists emphasize doing everything in opposite, doing everything backwards, and backmasking and understanding how to lay subliminal messagery through the understanding of backmasking speech. Well, then, this is satanic stuff. I mean, hey, you know what? You don't believe me, do you? Okay, before I go, I want to show you all an example of how satanic backmasking can be. Okay? And hey, somebody posted a aesthetic. That's not her pregnant. She was just fat in the ass. She stopped working out. Look at those arm muscles. She just stopped working out and wore a frumpy ass dress. That's not her fucking pregnant. All right, this is what we're going to do. I want to show y'all a little bit about backmasking and the power of it, okay? I want to show you guys that things aren't as they seem when you hear them, especially when it comes to music. All right? Especially when it comes to music. Now, an aesthetic, that's not a baby bump. That's when she came out during the Democratic National Convention in Denver. She wore that stupid dress, and she came out, and they had that fucking dumb Stevie Wonder song. Isn't she lovely? Remember that stupid shit? Isn't she lovely? You stupid dumb drag queen. Isn't she love me? Jesus Christ. All right, now what I'm going to do here is I'm looking for this one song so that I can show you how sick I'm going to show you how sick backmasking can be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song by the name of Stairway to Heaven. Y'all remember Stairway to Heaven? And she's flying the stairway to heaven. I want you to listen to the whole song backwards. Yeah, there's a whole other song backwards to Stairway to Heaven. A whole other song backwards. And you know what? Fair use, guys. Fair use. I am critical of this song. I am criticizing this song, and I am, I'm using this song as an example. So, fair use, motherfuckers. Here is, and we're going to go ahead. Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. Everybody knows that song. It's the infamous, oh, dude, Stairway, dude. And she's flying a stairway to heaven. Let's listen to it backwards, shall we? Let's go ahead and put it on right now. Let's see how it looks backwards. Let's hear how it sounds backwards, huh? Here we go. All right, listen closely, okay? I'll stop to let you hear what they're saying. All right, right there it says, hold on a second. It says, all arriving, damn it, hold on. It says, all arriving, they all sing, and they are one. Here, you got to listen to it very closely. I'm going to put it up really loud, okay? Really, really loud. Okay, it says, shall I loathe you now, parishioner, or he is him, Christian within me? Damn, I keep losing it. Hold on a second. I shall loathe you now, parishioner, or hell him, Christian within me. Here, you know what? Instead of doing the whole fucking song, let me get to the song where he talks about Satan. Okay, here's where he talks about Satan. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Listen carefully as the song's played backwards. This is really the song where he's calling for Satan. This is real. This is utterly real. If there's a button in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. Now, look, no, he's going to play it forward. We're going to play it forward here and then backwards. Listen. Here's it forward. Here it is forward. If there's a button in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. Here it is backwards. Here it is backwards. Listen to it. All right, in that it says, so here's to my sweet Satan, the ones whose little path would make me sad, whose power is Satan. He'll give you 666. There was a little tool shed where he made us suffer, sad Satan. Now that is in the song Stairway to Heaven. Now the only reason that I played that here at the end of this broadcast is to show you that there's a reason why these fucking people on the left are so lunatics. They're sociopaths. They're psychopaths. They're crazy. Is because I don't believe that they're in their own frame of mind. I think that they are under a spell that these liberals and these Democrats have been putting in people's heads, and that's why no matter how that you try to pose a debate or any kind of subject, even if you show them facts, even if you show them wrong, they won't believe it. And that takes a certain type of hypnosis, a spell, something, right? I'm telling you, everything, you're going to find out that there's a lot of things in the backmasking of things that are liberal. And you have to open up your mind, guys. You have to realize that according to quantum physics, all this around us doesn't exist. According to the atomized interpretation of quantum physics, there is nothing around us. There is nothing but empty space and us. And the only thing that makes anything real is our senses. Our senses to feel. Our senses to look. Our senses to hear. Our senses to smell. Our senses to taste. This is the only thing that makes reality to us. But according to quantum physics, all this doesn't exist. All this doesn't exist. All right? All this does not exist. It's just empty space and you. So, if we can only interpret what we can see with our senses, does it make sense that there could be something all around us that we can't see, we can't hear, we can't feel, we can't taste, we can't touch, we can't smell? I mean, I'm just asking. Because if you don't believe it, if you think that we're nothing more than bacteria on a rock, then the devil is already won in your soul. Because if you don't believe that there is a spiritual component to everything that's all around us, then you haven't been very observant. I mean, take a look at all these people that are in power today. They worship the darkest of dark. All right? They worship the darkest of dark. I mean, take a look at that opening of that one tunnel in Switzerland. Y'all remember that tunnel in Switzerland? They gave that big, humongous satanic ceremony to honor the tunnel. It's one of the largest tunnels ever built, the underground tunnel ever built for a railway. And I think, 5 or 6 people died in the making of that tunnel. And if you take a look at the festivities in the grand opening of that tunnel, all of the EU was there to spectate this satanic fucking ritual. And I'm going to leave you with this. When I get off of here, I will gab the video in question of what I'm talking about. But I'm going to leave you with this. If you all think what I'm saying is crazy, if you all think what I'm saying is ridiculous, well then why are these people believing this? Why are these people even embracing this? Why are these people patronizing satanic rituals? I mean, it even said in the DNC email leaks, that you had staffers and Hillary people sacrificing chickens to Moloch. And for all those that don't know Moloch, folks, Moloch is a deity that is represented by an owl, in which you sacrifice your children to so that you can advance yourself. And I'll leave you with one more thing. I don't mean to bring up Alex Jones, but Alex Jones exposed something called the Bohemian Grove back in the early 2000s. And one of the rituals that Alex Jones exposed in the Bohemian Grove was something called the cremation of care. The cremation of care, okay? And in the cremation of care, all these people that were patronizing the Bohemian Grove, which are the elites of political, military, and economic America, these folks are praising a deity of Moloch. And what they're representing in that little cremation of care, they are cremating, they are burning in effigy a human being so that they burn their care away from the world. So they have no care. As a matter of fact, the high priest, I should say, in that ceremony, he says, hey, Satan, what does that one dude say in the Bohemian Grove, in the cremation of care? What does he say, Satan?
Be gone, dull care! Be gone! Be gone, dull care! Be gone!
That's what he's saying. That's what the high priest is saying in the cremation of care.
Be gone, dull care! Be gone!
Be gone, dull care, huh? Care. The cremation of care. So they can burn all their worries away and not be afflicted on the chaos and the devastation and the tragedy they implement on the world. Anyway, that's enough red pills for today. I want to thank everybody for listening to this broadcast. Once again, folks, as we can see, these leftists, these Democrats are trying to cause civil unrest. They're trying to cause civil war. And the reason is because these people are evil. They're evil. I mean, wouldn't the best thing be, folks, is just to be like, all right, look, my president didn't win. It sucks. Oh, it's been a year and a half since Trump. The world hasn't ended. Trump is, making peace with people that we were having wars with. This is a great economy. The lowest unemployment in fucking 80 years. I mean, you could go on and on. What is the problem with these people? Why can't they get on with their lives? Why can't they get a hobby? Why can't they get a job, etc.? Why? Because, folks, they're losers, man. I mean, it's easy to bitch and moan. It's easy to blame everybody else. Remember, this goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this broadcast about white privilege. It's easy to piss and moan that it's white privilege fault. It's black people's fault. It's my mama's fault. It's the government's fault. It's everybody's fault. No, it's your fault. In this day and age, especially in this Trump economy, if you're not doing anything to progress yourself, if you're not going out and getting a job, if you're not going out and making money, if you're not out there cleaning yourself up, if you're not out there wearing nice threads, you're not out there getting your own car, if you're not out there getting your own place, well, then you ain't doing shit. You're not a man. If you're over the age of 22, 23 years old and you're still living with mommy, then you've already fucked your shit up. Because from 18 to 23, you could have made enough money to put a down payment on your home without having to go to college. I'm serious. I mean, even if you were doing a minimum wage job. I mean, give me a break. And by the way, folks, just because you're working minimum wage today doesn't mean you're going to be working minimum wage forever. All right? The reason they pay you a minimum wage is to see whether or not you're going to be there for fucking 3 months. And then once you're there for 3 months, they're like, you know what? We're glad you're here. We're gonna up your pay 75 cents an hour. And you're there for 6 months, 8 months. You're like, hey, it's pretty good, man. You've done pretty good with us. We're gonna add you another $1 an hour. I mean, that's how it works. Anybody that claims that they fucking have been working minimum wage for more than 3 years are fuck ups. All right. I mean, they're not doing their job right. All right. They're doing the minimum job possible, and that's why they haven't gone up past minimum wage. So this is your time, capitalists. This is your time. And especially you folks that are outside the United States, that are living in socialist and communist countries, well then, by God, man, buy crypto, hold crypto. And if you can't buy it, well then provide a service or provide a product so you can sell for crypto. Because that's going to be your ticket outside of socialism, outside of communism. Buy and hold. It's as simple as that. And once the market capitalization of crypto goes from $258 billion to $1 trillion, $2 trillion, $3 trillion, and you're holding these digital assets on your computer, on a hardware, offline wallet, whatever, you have become rich in a communist socialist country without the communist or socialist knowing. And then all you got to do is take a trip outside outside your country, take your goddamn hard drive, or hell, put it on an offline wallet, put it on a wallet that's in the cloud somewhere, and you're golden, baby. You got a new life. I'm telling you all how to be capitalist, whether in America or elsewhere. I'm telling you how to do it. I'm telling you. Long-term investment reigns supreme. There is nothing more liberating. There's nothing more liberating than being your own boss. There's nothing more liberating than being a capitalist that takes control of your own destiny. There's nothing more liberating than that, folks. I'm going to be back, folks, this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Once again, type it in your browser, add it to your favorites and your bookmarks. Ghost.report. Okay? Ghost.report. All the archives are on there. The live stream's on there. All right, we broadcast live once again Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'd like for you all to follow me as well on Gab. All right, it's the last bastion of social media, last bastion of freedom of speech on social media today. You can get there by typing in your browser Gab. That's gab.ai. Gab.ai. And you can follow me on that social media under the name Politics Ghost. All right, all one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And once again, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do, once again, go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and hit the subscribe button for premium content. Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will send you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? Anyway, folks, I'm out of here. I will be back on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope that you're here with me, too. And look, folks, if you can, spread this show link around like wildfire. All right, I don't have any advertising. I mean, the whole reason why this show is what it is because of pure word of mouth. And I need you guys, man. I need you to not only spread the show link, but, repost some of the posts. Like some of the Gab posts. I mean, we have to put the information in front of the faces of everybody, especially these fucking leftists and these fucking communists, these Democrats, so they can't lie anymore. They can't lie. We got to push the information as much as we possibly can in the faces of everybody so they can't lie. And by the way, those guys that have been re-gabbing, reposting, and liking the Gabs, I know who you are. I'll get in contact with you personally soon enough, ask you for your cryptocurrency wallet in question, and send you some crypto for reposting and liking a lot of the posts that I have on Gab, man. Thank you, guys. The rest of you people, go fuck yourselves, all right? You people are lazy pricks. You can't even repost. You can't even like a Gab post. And I'm sitting here, look, I'm almost at 3.5 hours without a fucking break broadcasting to you people, and you can't even fucking click a goddamn repost or a goddamn like. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking dicks. No wonder America's in the position that it's in. You're fucking lazy. Anyway, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself. For all you people that are down with Ghost, that are down with capitalism, and that actually help what we are doing here, I appreciate you genuinely. For you folks that re-gab, that like the Gabs, that are a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and everything else, thank you guys. Everybody else, I don't know what the hell else do you want from me, for Christ's sake? I'm giving you free goddamn business information that makes you money. I'm giving you the straight goddamn political dope, and I'm giving you prognostications that nobody has been given on a consistent basis like this man right here. So goddamn it, once again, thank you guys that are re-gabbing, that are liking the posts, that are doing everything to spread the information out. Everybody else, go fuck yourselves. I'm out of here.